In Niger, leaders of last month's military coup have appointed a 21-member cabinet as they forge ahead with building a new government. This comes as West African leaders from ECOWAS are holding an emergency summit today in the Nigerian capital, Abuja, to determine their next steps after a deadline to restore ousted President Mohamed Bazoum passed Sunday. ECOWAS, backed by the U.S. and the former colonizer France, had threatened to use military force if their deadline was not met, but there's been deep division within the region over how to respond. The Senate in Nigeria has said military force should only be used as a last resort if diplomacy fails. Neighbors Mali and Burkina Faso, all ruled by coup leaders who've ejected French forces from their country, have said any military action would be taken as an attack on their countries as well. Many Nigerians have been taking to the streets since July 26 coup to show their support of the military and voice opposition to any foreign intervention. On Wednesday, the coup leadership accused France of violating its airspace. This is Niger Army spokesperson Colonel Major Amadou Abdraman.
These security disruptions planned by these French forces was the case in Mali and Burkina Faso, aimed to discredit the CNSP and create a rupture with the people who supported its actions, or to create the feeling of a generalized insecurity in any case.
Meanwhile, sanctions and power cuts imposed on Niger have hampered delivery of humanitarian aid to over 4 million people in need of assistance, according to the UN. African officers trained by the U.S. military have now taken part in 11 coups in West Africa since 2008, including in Burkina Faso and Mali. For more, we turn to Horace Campbell, professor of African-American Studies and Political Science at Syracuse University, activist and chairperson of the Global Pan-African Movement North American Delegation. He's also the author of Global NATO and the Catastrophic Failure in Libya. Professor Campbell, we welcome you back to Democracy Now! Can you talk about what's happening as we speak? The meeting in Nigeria, the most populous country in Africa, of the ECOWAS leaders, West African leaders, who set a deadline of this past Sunday, saying if the president, Bazoum, was not returned, they would militarily intervene. Well, clearly they haven't. What's your response? Of course, Burkina Faso, Mali, Guinea, threatening that they better not attack.
Well, good morning, Amy, and thank you for having me. We oppose all military intervention. You should make that very clear. We oppose the military intervention in Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, and Guinea. But one cannot oppose the military intervention without opposing France and the United States and their militarization of the region. This recent destruction of civilian power and civilian leadership in Niger is one of the 9 sequences that has developed since the war on terror in that region. The fabrication of terror, the intervention of the United States and France in the region, and the consequences of the destruction of Libya and the financing of groups, military groups in the region by France. Now, this military intervention in Niger is a consequence of the militarization of Nigerian society when the society needs social and economic reconstruction. The United States has pumped more than $1 billion into this region, into military facilities and military programs, and supporting military elements in this region. In Niger alone, the United States has spent $500 million building a military base and military and drone facilities in Agadez to support French exploitation of the mineral human resources of Niger. So we cannot discuss what's going on in Niger without discussing the call by the African people for the expulsion of France from West Africa. The foreign minister of Mali has called on the United Nations to investigate France in the region. The former prime minister of Italy has called for sanctions against France. And it is the right-wing conservative forces in the United States that is supporting France, to the point where now we see the conservative wing of the Biden administration, led by Victoria Nuland and Antony Blinken, leading the discussions on Africa. Why is it that Victoria Nuland was in Niger on Monday and Victoria Nuland is in South Africa? The Biden administration has African experts. They named Johnny Carson as their expert on Africa at the last US-Africa Summit. But it's Victoria Nuland, the hawk that wants to militarize the planet Earth, who is a rabid militarist, who is now flying between Nigeria, Niger, and South Africa, carrying out US policies. The task is for the left and progressive forces in this country to call for the removal of the United States Africa Command from Africa, the closing of the US military facilities in Niger, and to support the people of Niger in removing France from Niger, just as the people of Burkina Faso and Mali has done. And we should support the call for federation between Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso.
Give us the history of Niger and French colonialism there. We'll also talk about the United States.
Well, Niger is one of those states that has suffered from French military intervention and destruction in the region. The French are inordinately dependent on the exploitation and plunder of Africa. The French had military personnel in Niger. When their military personnel were thrown out of Mali and Burkina Faso, they were redeployed to Niger, and they were stoned on the way to their bases in Niger. The France has exploited the mineral and natural resources of Niger. The French uranium mines in Niger not only exploited the uranium resources of Niger, but France has also closed mines and left radioactive material that is deleterious to the health and safety of the Nigerian people. Now, everyone in West Africa is calling for the ending of the CFA franc and the domination of the economies of West Africa by France. They're calling for the removal of the 240,000 French personnel in West Africa. In the case of Niger, France is opposed to any plans for the reconstruction of the country. Let's take the major plan in this region for the reconstruction of the country. That is the replenishing of Lake Chad. You started this news broadcast this morning by talking about a fire in Hawaii. Those kinds of fires are going on all across West Africa because of global warming. Global warming has accelerated the depletion of Lake Chad. Lake Chad has lost 95% of its water resources. There's a plan by the Lake Chad Basin Authority to replenish Lake Chad. Who is against this? France. Who is against investment in reconstruction in West Africa? France. Who has been supporting, who allegedly has been supporting terror groups in West Africa? When the United States called for investigation into Boko Haram, it was revealed in the Nigerian newspapers that the French has been supporting Boko Haram in Nigeria. So the French create terrorist groups and then goes into African countries to say they are fighting terrorism in Africa. This kind of duplicity by France and fomenting terror and destruction has been challenged by the peoples of West Africa. In every country in West Africa, they're calling for the ending of French economic, financial, and military domination. So we in this country must call on our representatives and our political forces who are progressive. For example, Ocasio-Cortez, who is a progressive member of Congress, When she was a student, she went into Niger. Why are they not raising their voices against the militarism and militarization of West Africa by the United States military, and to call for investment in health, reconstruction, water supply, and the safety of the people of Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali? The United States, France, is gung-ho about reversing a military coup in Niger. What about the military coup in Sudan that has been supported by the United States, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates? What about the destruction of the military in Sudan against the peoples of Sudan, calling for the restoration of democratic relations? We cannot be selective in our opposition to militarism. We must oppose militarism of all sorts in Africa, but the priority at this moment is for the removal of France and to call on the United Nations to have sanctions against France for its destruction and militarism in Africa.
And then talk about the U.S. role, the U.S. drone base in Niger, and talk about the significance of uranium in the world that's in Niger.
Well, let's start with the United States of America. The United States of America has been involved in what they call a war on terror, which is, in the words of Jerry McKinnon, a fabrication in West Africa. The people who are called terrorists, in many cases, are people who were supported by France. In the case of the destruction of Libya, the United States and France removed Gaddafi, and now the United States and France are fighting on both sides of the war in Libya. After the destruction of Libya, the Tuareg left Libya and went into Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. The French supported groups that are supposed to be terror groups, and then the United States started what they call the Trans-Sahara Counter-Terror Initiative and spent $500 million on that counter-terror initiative. The United States then went into Niger to build a military base and a drone base in Agadez. Now, all of this is very murky because even the Pentagon cannot account for what is happening. The congressional representatives say they do not know what's going on in Niger. When 4 United States Marines were killed at Tongo Tongo in Niger, and if you look at the map to see where Tongo Tongo is, right at the border between Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. When these 4 Marines were killed in 2017, up to now, the Pentagon cannot say what happened to these 4 Marines. The ABC documentary, 321T1 Unredacted, talks about the murkiness of the intelligence and the opaque operations of the Pentagon in Niger. The United States needs to remove its military forces from Africa and to support the peace, social justice forces in Africa who are fighting for reconstruction in that part of the world. So the United States itself is a force for destruction against the peoples of Africa at the moment.
I want to ask you about the leaders of Burkina Faso, Mali, Guinea, all warning against the foreign intervention in Niger to reverse the coup. Now, Burkina Faso's interim leader, Ibrahim Traoré, who took power in a coup in September, recently spoke in Moscow during the Russia-African Summit. He criticized what he called imperialist neocolonialism.
The questions my generation is asking are the following. If I can summarize, it is that we do not understand how Africa, with so much wealth on our soil, with generous nature, water, sunshine and abundance, how Africa is today the poorest continent. Africa is a hungry continent. And how come there are heads of state all over the world begging? These are the questions we are asking ourselves, and we have no answers so far. We have the opportunity to forge new relationships, and I hope that these relationships can be the best ones to give our people a better future. My generation also asks me to say that because of this poverty, they are forced to cross the ocean to try to reach Europe. They die in the ocean, but soon they will no longer have to cross because they will come to our palaces to seek their daily bread. As far as what concerns Burkina Faso today, for more than 8 years, we've been confronted with the most barbaric and the most violent form of imperialist neocolonialism. Slavery continues to impose itself on us. Our predecessors taught us one thing: a slave who cannot assume his own revolt does not deserve to be pitied. We do not feel sorry for ourselves. We do not ask anyone to feel sorry for us. The people of Burkina Faso have decided to fight against terrorism in order to relaunch their development.
So that is Burkina Faso's interim leader, Ibrahim Traoré, who took power in a coup in September wearing that red beret that's reminiscent of Thomas Sankara, the leader who was assassinated in 1987. Talk about that history, Professor Campbell.
The political consciousness of the peoples of Africa at the moment, this consciousness has been heightened by the conjuncture of the global capitalist crisis, the investments for billionaires, the climate crisis, COVID-19, and the general immiseration of the African peoples. Thomas Sankara was a military leader in Burkina Faso. And that's why, though we condemn military coup d'etat, we do not have a knee-jerk reaction against all military leaders, because within the ranks of the military in Burkina Faso are the heirs of Thomas Sankara. Thomas Sankara was a leader who organized the people of Burkina Faso to bring safety, security, sanitation, peace to that country, and it was about how to mobilize the people of West Africa against French imperialism. And through French and Ivorian machinations, the Thomas Sankara was killed. The military in Burkina Faso still has some of the sentiment and consciousness of Thomas Sankara. But what was being said by the leader of Burkina Faso is now reflected all across West Africa. In Senegal, the anti-French, anti-imperialist sentiments are very high. And the highest anti-imperialist sentiment in Africa at the moment is to be found in the Sudan, where the revolution in the Sudan has mobilized the people into resistance committees that overthrew the military. So Burkina Faso, Sudan, Mali, and now Niger are countries where the room for developing the political consciousness of the people and strengthening the anti-imperialist bloc in Africa is very strong. Last week, the EFF in South Africa had its 10th anniversary Congress. And if you listen to the speech of Malema, the anti-imperialist speech, you get a sense of the sentiment all across Africa about imperialism, about the need for African unification, harnessing the resources of Africa, and to ensure that Africa is not drawn into any new wars. What we are seeing in Nigeria is that the Nigerian government, which many in Nigeria call the present government illegal, this government in Nigeria needs an intervention in Niger and in Burkina Faso and Mali in order to get favor from the United States of America so that Tinubu can be in power. The people of Nigeria, they're against this military intervention. The Senate of Nigeria, as you said in the lead up, said they should not intervene. They said there should be dialogue. The people of Nigeria, the people of Niger are one. So what the Burkina Faso leader said in Russia at the Russia-Africa Summit is the sentiment of the peoples all across Africa about Western military intervention in Africa.
And yet, interestingly, Professor Campbell, the African officers who are involved in these 11 coups in the last 15 years in West Africa, including in Burkina Faso and Mali, have been trained in the United States.
And trained by this money that the United States is supposed to be spending on counterterror. I think that is why we need greater investigation in what the United States is doing in Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and Guinea, and to call for closing of the United States Africa Command and for there to be greater relations between the civilian societies in Africa and the peoples of the United States. The United States Africa Command needs to be removed from Africa because the United States Africa Command has been responsible for part of the sequences of militarism in West Africa.
And finally, if you can talk about the U.S., I would say, intensified interest in Africa right now, as it tries to compete with Russia and, even more importantly, China. If you can talk about Africa as a kind of proxy for this global competition.
Yes. First of all, the African peoples have been fighting for self-determination. The African peoples have been calling for the unification of Africa. The African peoples have been calling for the African currency so that they are not sending billions of dollars, up to $48 billion every year to Western European countries. The African countries want freedom of movement. They're creating the Africa Continental Free Trade Community. The United States, France, the European Union, all foreign powers are against Africa uniting and creating roads and railways and ports for the African peoples. The overthrow of Gaddafi in Libya was directly related to the plan by the African Union for an African currency. An African currency that prevents the outflow of resources from Africa is a threat to France, the European Union, and the United States of America. And that is why the United States is creating the boogie about China, and the United States is intensifying militarism in Africa. Next, this war in Ukraine is a terrible war against the peoples of Ukraine and that region. But that war in Ukraine is another step of the militarization of the planet, where the United States is supporting the fascist elements in Ukraine. Now, Africans have taken a position that they do not have any dog in this fight. They want peace in Ukraine. The United States is threatening Africans with the countering Russian malign influence in Africa. They've actually passed a bill in Congress to coerce Africans to support the United States and the NATO war in Ukraine, when Africans are calling for NATO to be accountable for the destruction of Libya. In South Africa in particular, where there will be the BRICS summit the next week, where Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa are coming together to break the domination of the United States over the world economy. The United States is threatening the South African government. It's not by accident that Victoria Nuland went from West Africa to South Africa. They've been threatening the South African government and making allegations that South Africa is selling arms to Russia. All of these are fabrications. The United States is now leaning on Kenya to send soldiers to Haiti. The United States is calling on Kenya to sign a strategic trade investment partnership with Kenya to break up the plans for greater cooperation in Eastern Africa. So the United States is running amok in Africa based on challenging China. The African people do not need the United States to tell them to challenge China. What the people of Africa needs is to plant food to end hunger. They want jobs, they want roads, they want health care, and they want tangible resources internationally to fight climate change. This is the most important crisis globally. So we in this part of the world need to join with the African peoples supporting peace and reconstruction, supporting the replenishment of Lake Chad, and do not support France and the United States in the destruction of Africa.
Horace Campbell, I want to thank you for being with us, Professor of African American Studies and Political Science at Syracuse University, Chairperson of the Global Pan-African.
Welcome, everybody. This one, top up. Hey, we gather here again.
Anything?
Yes, as the last two speakers mentioned, dollar have been weaponized. It's technically no longer a currency. It is a weapon, and it's just that most of us are even not going back to history, because since, as the last speaker spoke, in 1944, when $1 is tagged at 0.9 gram of gold, that's when it was trusted. But soon after the Korean War and the Vietnam War, United States started printing much more of its dollars beyond the gold reserve it has. In fact, it became a weapon because at that time, you have Charles de Gaulle, the president of France then, requesting to change his dollars with 138 tons of gold. And with that, triggers a lot of issues where there was a revolution and he was removed. So this thing was not today, it's been there. And that weaponization affected much more of the global south, particularly African countries. Because what happened is that they came to African countries with something called structural adjustment program. Basically, what the program means is shut down all your factories, shut down all your productive base, take dollars, and then share within you the elites and leave the poor man to suffer. So all the programs that was organized and come into Africa with has been about how to sell dollar in the name of donor agency, in the name of grant, in the name of loans, in the name of whatever. The financialization of the system succeeded in destroying every part of the productivity that impoverished Africans and denied them opportunity to get jobs, to continue to sustain their life and grow. So that is exactly what it is. So in Africa, the enthusiasm is very, very high. We understand that the biggest strangulation against our success is the dollar. So the more we decouple from the dollar, the better for the success of our growth. And now that we have China with the Chinese Shanghai Stock Exchange with having a digital commodity backing yuan, and we have just, I think 2 days ago, the Russian President Vladimir Putin signing digital ruble, accepting the digital ruble, and we have several African countries, including my country, Nigeria, where we have a digital currency we call e-Naira. We have Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement that will have to settle all their own transactions in another currency other than US dollar. There is no better time than now for us to establish a new currency that will be backed by a commodity that can actually be substantiated, as opposed to printing money just bare fair to impoverish poor countries like Africa. Somebody will go to US and print dollars and come to my land and buy the entire land with just printed money. That is grossly unfair, and I believe all Africans are aware of this and are eager to get the new currency so that we can continue to advance our growth and development.
Well, let's now talk about what's unfolding in Niger. The country's elected president has been captured. The military has seized power, closed the country's borders, installed a prime minister and a 21-person cabinet. It's almost as if the junta is now waiting for the world to react to its actions. But before we get to that, let's talk about some basics. First, this is where Niger is located, at the heart of the Sahel region, an area where terror groups like the ISIS and Al-Qaeda are rapidly expanding over the years. Several countries have actually sent troops to Niger. Why, you ask? Well, to guarantee security. France has around 1,500 troops in Niger. The Americans, more than 1,000 troops across 2 bases. Italy has 300 troops there, and the European Union has another at least 100 troops or thereabouts in Niger. And yet, together, these troops have somehow failed to check extremism and terrorism. Attacks on Niger's villages have become the new normal, and Niger's economy has taken a hit. The military pointed at this economic and geopolitical insecurity when overturning the elected government. Guess what? Many actually celebrated this coup. But frankly, toppling a democracy is normally very bad news, even if it's something that many saw coming, like in Niger, a former French colony with a history of several coups. So how did the world react? The ECOWAS, or the Economic Community of West Africa States, put Niger's junta on a hard deadline. They're given until the 6th of August to restore the elected government. The junta refused to stand down. Instead, it closed the country's airspace. On the 10th of May, ECOWAS leaders met for a summit in Nigeria. Speaking of Niger, the bloc said all options are open, including the use of force.
You will see from the communique of this extraordinary summit that no option is taken off the table, including the use of force.
Direct the Committee of the Chief of Defense Staff to activate the ECOWAS standby force with all its elements immediately. Order the deployment of the ECOWAS standby force to restore constitutional order in the Republic of Niger.
There you have it, the bloc activating its standby force. But what does this mean for the region's security? Remember, the foreign troops still remain in Niger. There's also talk of Russia's private mercenary group, the Wagner Group, sending troops to Niger. This after the Wagner boss has openly supported the coup. The obvious question is, what next? And for more on the situation now in Niger, we have with us David Otto, Director for Geneva Center for Africa Securities and Strategic Studies. David, thank you so much for being with us. What is the latest that you can tell us on the situation in Niger? And is it actually going to become a wider war of some sort?
Well, literally, ECOWAS has declared war against the military junta in Niger's republic. And of course, but what we know so far is that, it made 2 decisions, which are quite key and crucial. One, it asked the Chief of Defense Staff, that's the Chief of Securities within all the ECOWAS member states, it asked them to activate the ECOWAS standby force, meaning that, they should prepare for a military intervention, and it asked them to deploy the ECOWAS standby force to restore, the constitutional rule. But it doesn't actually give the time frame as to when this intervention will take place.
But of course, one question is whether it just gets restricted to what's happening in West Asia and West Asian countries getting involved. Could there be a broader involvement, perhaps getting in some of the European countries as well, is the other question. I mean, the Wagner Group obviously is there, and there's some talk that that could be supporting the junta. Many other European powers also have some soldiers out there. Do you think it could become a broader conflict involving them as well?
We're likely to see a disintegration of ECOWAS into 2 factions, which could possibly be another proxy war, some kind of a Ukraine playing over. this time around Niger. What we're likely to see, again, as you rightly mentioned, is that possibly Wagner may join the faction of Niger, including Burkina Faso and Mali. I think simply because the Wagner de facto leader, not sure whether he still heads that group, Yevgeny Prigozhin, he made it very clear that the coup in Niger was a demonstration and an indication of the clamping down of colonialism and Western influence in that region. So he is likely to influence perhaps the ECOWAS, the Wagner forces that are based in that region to support.
All right, David Otto, thank you so much for joining us. Enough conflict, I think, in the world, but sadly, no signs that it's going to ease in Niger anytime in the near future. Thank you so much for joining us.
Most of the time when I talk of the African health system, that is in the hands of the wrong person, in the hands of the enemy. When I talk of the World Health Organization, when I talk of the genetically modified foods, when I talk of the so-called family planning tablets, such videos are censored and cannot be in the public. But may we, in Africa, 99% of the vaccines that we use here in Africa are not produced in Africa, because there is somebody somewhere there who knows that on this date, on this day, on this location, and this location, there will be such a disease in Africa. So let me start to prepare some vaccines. He or she will manufacture those vaccines. The time comes, there will be such a disease in Africa, and this person starts selling his vaccines to Africa and make profits. The contraceptives that are here in Africa are not made in Africa. We're using them. We in Africa are suffering from HIV and AIDS, but nobody has ever taught us how to produce ARV. We are just the consumers of the ARV. Ask yourself those questions. We deserve to be the consumers of any dumped disease to Africa, imported to Africa. We are the consumers. They make business out of us. To my surprise, the professionals, medical professionals, they don't sit down of Africa, they don't sit down to discuss about this. There is also somebody who is able to predict and beef up the security system of Africa, that there will be a terrorist attack here and there and there. How does he know that there will be a terrorist attack there? How does he know? Before the terrorist attack in Africa, they firstly make a call and say, hello, Sia, we want to attack there and there and there. So beef them up. Is that what is happening? How does they know? This is my Africa. This is what the kind of life that we are living. And when we try to wake up some of our people, they are so loyal, very much loyal to their masters. They can defend their masters with anything. 99% of the African leaders are compromised. 99%. They serve their masters. Who suffers is 1.2 billion people.
Hey, one love, welcome. Oh, greetings, everybody, once again. I have a question, so anybody can respond to this. I was hearing some rumors that they have what's it called? The US has military bases around Enugu, the eastern region mostly. Can somebody confirm that or not? Because I saw something about it, I'm not sure. So I didn't want to bring it here. Because I went to do my own research, I didn't find anything like that. So please, somebody should help me confirm. One love, happy Saturday, welcome. Oh.
Good to see you, Omoye, and everyone in the panel.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate what you guys are doing. I think you was online today or something like that.
Yeah, I was earlier on this morning. Yes, because I
Yeah.
wanted the violence space. They were showcasing like the different resources that we have in different states, and I felt like that was very important information for people to have.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah, but good to see you guys again.
thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm not sure. I don't really think they have a base in Nigeria. Yeah, I don't think so. But
Okay.
I know they have a base in Niger. They have a base
Yes.
at they have a base in let's see, um I believe in Agadez, Niamey, at one, two, it's up to about 5 places that they are trying to cover in Niger. I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I thought too, because I was like, I don't think about that because if that was the case, I know that somebody would have said something about it.
Yeah, they don't have
You
a
know.
base in Niger, but I know they have underground work in Nigeria, big one.
Hmm.
They have underground work, people that are working for them all the way down to the inner ins and crannies of Nigeria. They know what is going on in that country more than our people. Um,
Okay.
they,
Yeah, but
they
I mean, I know they have a base in Niger. I think is it where is it? Is it I forget. There's a place they have it in Niger, Sha, the military base. But
yeah.
how can they look? Niger has too many military bases. For goodness sake,
I
Canada
don't
is there.
because they are fighting. You know what the thing is? They come in and say we're going to help you uh, fight the
Terrorism, which is not
terrorists
the
in.
case.
It's a lie. They don't do anything. They'll tell you we are coming to help you fight terrorism in Niger. They are not doing anything. They are just there to get their resources. That's what they are there for. Mm. That's what they are there for.
Wow.
If you remember back in 2017, when I believe it was 2 or 3 U.S. soldiers that were killed by the Niger. That was when even most members of the Senate here in the U.S. knew that the U.S. even have a base in Niger.
Wow. So they didn't know at all.
Most of them didn't even know. That's why, like, I remember Senator what's his name? I forgot. He was even asking, what is American soldiers doing in Niger? You know,
At that time, I'm sure nobody answered when he
they
said that.
they can answer, but you begin to try to ask yourself, like, what? I mean, if you go to Germany, they are there. If you go to Japan, they are there. If you go to Philippines, they are there. Like, come on, you're trying to be the policeman of the world. I get it, but not in the process of trying to extract minerals and resources from people's country. That's basically how they messed up Afghanistan and some of all these countries. They tell you, oh, we're going to help you fight the terrorists, help you fight terrorism, blah blah blah. You go there. And I remember Trump then was always yelling and yelling on the TV, asking people to seize the oil in Iraq and those places because they believe if they got that oil, they will be able to subdue the government. You know, but I don't know what they are trying to achieve. I know France has been there for years and they've messed up Niger big time to the point where I believe every single thing that happened in France, even down to how people eat and feed there, it depends on the resources they get from Niger. That's why they are so scared to leave that place. They don't want to leave. You know, even their power plants is being built by resources that are extracted from Niger, and the people in Niger don't even have a candlelight to see at night. But there are billions of power plants that are built in France to power their country with the resources that are extracted from Niger. You know, so I think it's about time Africa wakes up. But it's so sad that the ones that we thought are going to embrace democracy, they embrace it in the wrong way, to the point whereby the democratic countries that will call themselves democratic are even worse than the military regime. If you look at what happened in Nigeria this year of election, what happened right there is worse than any military government, or even what is going on right now in Niger. The people are behind these guys that just came into power. You know, they supported them. They want them to take over because the puppet that was there over the years has done nothing for them. I believe the same thing that happened almost happened in Guinea too. So they will come in and pretend, oh, in the name of democracy, in the name of freedom, in the name of being able to speak your mind. But at the same time, people are living in poverty. What do we want to trade for? Trade poverty for democracy, or trade military regime for good life? I mean, we at some point we have to choose. You know, we just can't pick it because that's the form of government they want us to embrace. I get it. Nobody ever liked what happened during the time of what they call it, then Babangida, Abacha, and all those other guys. But at the same time, if we have to have a government, it has to be something that we all agree on. That this is how we want to be governed. It's not a process where election is conducted. Some people use money to manipulate it, and some even outside the country, they will even have a foreign interference that would affect the result. You know, you do see they did not they knew Nigeria election was flawed, but did you see any form of sanction? Or they tell us, oh, we gave visa back to people. Who the heck care about visa? You know, they even messed up to the country to the point whereby they can even come out and mention with their dirty mouth and say visa ban is a punishment. If Nigeria was good, if our leaders, our rulers know what they were doing, is visa ban is even closer to a punishment for someone that messed up an election? You know, and then they just swept the under the rug. The lady that just left, the ambassador that just left Nigeria, I think she's from Massachusetts also. Now, the issue is they have people that work for them in Nigeria. They know, even down to every part of just name any state in Nigeria. They have people that are working for them, that are giving them intelligence information every day about what is going on in Nigeria. They knew Nigerian nation was messed up. They knew all of those but because they wanted someone that they can manipulate, that's why they decided to stay out of it. They don't, whether you like it or not, they don't want Obi to be there. That's the fact.
Yeah.
You know, at some point we have to say the truth. They don't want Obi to be there because the guy is yearning for the freedom of Africa. He's yearning for our independence. Independence does not mean 1960, 1963. You can go and be your own stuff. We want people to stay out of our business. That's what people have been asking for years. Let all the production takes place there. Don't come to my place and extract resources and you push it to France to build roads and clean up the country. And where you are mining resources, people are buying every day. No good road, no water, no healthcare, nothing. Why not just build the company there so that the people there can work? And then whatever money you get there will also contribute to the GDP of that country. But because they want a leader that they can just, you know, manipulate, give them some money, and those ones, as far as the money enter their pocket, they can fly to Paris, they can fly to London with their private jet. They don't care. Their people can go and buy. They don't not concern them. And those are the kind of leaders that they want to be dealing with. They don't want someone like Peter Obi, the guy that will tell you Nigerians first. They don't want that kind of person. You know.
It's true, they don't, but I think that the time has come for the change. Unfortunately, I'm still hopeful that things don't get worse. War does not really occur, because man, war is not a good thing. Kene, welcome. Oh, I hear your noise in the background there. Greetings. Thank you very much, Mr. One Love, for your submission there. It really makes sense. It's very reflective, honestly. And it's true what you say. They don't really, I agree with you 100%. I mean, the information out there is just so overwhelming, you know. Kenny, welcome. Oh, happy Saturday to you.
I agree too. Sorry, I don't know. Something wrong with my headphone here.
Welcome. Oh, how you doing now?
I'm fine. How is everybody? I greet everybody. Panel comment section. This one you do double header today.
Now, wow.
You're strong. You like say you drink better mango juice.
I beg one. I don't fashion me now. Nobody did buy me mango juice again. I know Kukuma they ask again, so I don't leave her for now. No, it's just this whole thing really is it's bothering me, you know. So of course I'm researching, I'm watching, I'm looking at things, and it's like I was sharing earlier that I wanted to be very clear about that. I hope they're not putting military bases around the east. That was like,
No,
what the heck?
Yeah. So it's impossible to have not that it's impossible, but it's close to impossible to have a military base in the east. Remember, eastern Nigeria, or rather, southern Nigeria is densely populated. Again, so there's a huge population in the south. It's not like in the north. That's why I don't even believe census numbers in Nigeria.
No.
But if you check the east, for example, that's Enugu now. For me personally, I grew up in Nsukka, right? So I can pretty much tell you all the towns around Enugu State and how close they are to each other and how populated they are. Remember, at least in Igbo land, for example, Igbo land has population in their so-called cities and also population in their villages, because we travel between both places, especially during festive seasons, right? So there's no way there's a base somewhere that the people will not know. Now, there are Nigerian military bases. Actually, a Nigerian 82 division is in Enugu.
Okay.
So obviously, they might have some training fields, training grounds, and we also know that America's biggest or one of their biggest aid to countries is military. So it's possible that the American military might be training Nigerian military in various ways. I don't think we know that Nigeria doesn't necessarily have any relationship with like Russia, which is the other biggest military power. So anything military that is foreign sourced might more than likely be America related, and they might have like maybe a few soldiers training our soldiers on Nigerian soil, on Nigerian military bases, but not necessarily an American military base. But what is, for me, what I know to be true, which is more scary for me, is American presence in Nigeria in the form of U.S. embassy, which I know is just a CIA operation, pretty much.
My brother, thank you for bringing that thing up. It's just what I was saying. That embassy you see there, I feel like it's pretty much they know everything that goes on in Nigeria more than even our own.
They know everything.
Exactly.
They have people that work for them down to the street of Enugu, down to the street of everywhere. They have people that are working for them.
Let me tell you something. I know this. I was told this by somebody that I know. I'm not going to mention names or anything like that. Like I said before, I grew up in Enugu State. I grew up in UNN, right? I know of someone that is a CIA person in the whole East, the person that collects data for American embassy in the whole eastern region. You know, there are many quote unquote expatriates in the form of professors, in the form of trainers, in the form of youth NGOs, things like that, youth organizations, right? Helping quote unquote the African child that doesn't know anything or whatever. So all these people are information gathering agents that know, like you said, one love, Mr. One Love, they know everything going on in that area. You know, they've blended so well. Some of them are, you know, some of them are not even white. Some of them are African Americans too. You know, but they've blended so well. You know, they've assimilated with the culture. You see them here, you see them there, across helping out in various ways, but they're also gathering information, you know, and piping all that information to their so-called U.S. embassy. So that's what they do. There's that military military base in Niger, for example, is number one drone base. I think there is the America's biggest drone base in the world, or one of the biggest. Now we know that the war that have been fought for the past 20 years or so, 20 years or more, hasn't been like physical boots on the ground. It's been drones, like Obama. Obama's wars were all drones. So that foothold that they have in Niger is something very, very important to them, and from where they've launched a lot of drones and bombs, killing off even up to the Middle East, because Middle East and Africa is the same, right? It's just only one canal. It's only one canal that is just separating. It's just separating the two areas. It's Middle East and Africa is pretty much the same thing. So we know what they're doing. It's just that because our leaders, you know, our leaders are so corrupt and they're so in for themselves and their personal pockets, they just don't mind selling out the whole place for these people. I don't believe that there's no kind of like business proposal that America will bring to us and somebody with a decent mind and a half brain will look at it and say this is actually just for us as a people. But you know, it is what it is, unfortunately. But one of these days we are waking up, and very soon all these things will be a thing of the past, because we're gonna kick them out and try and, you know, negotiate on equal grounds.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I just, for me, I just feel like, if given the opportunity, honestly, I'll be on 24 hours. To be honest, this is how I feel about it, because I'm so concerned. I was so almost moved to tears today just thinking about how terribly these puppets have brought Nigeria to its literal knees. It breaks my heart in a million places. I just remember growing up, even though it wasn't rosy then, but at least people could go to their farms and grow food and at least eat. Even if they didn't have paper money, they had food. To be hearing every day, bye, 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 bye. I don't know how. I don't. Sometimes they boggle my mind. Like, what kind of human being do you have to be to watch your own people? Agbado number one is not Nigerian. Nobody can convince me otherwise. And to all the Ronu people, I hope you are happy now. Shey, you wanted your own person in. All the so-called Ronu nation, I hope they are saying this. All the northerners that were supporting Agbado, and supporting Shetima did not mind it was Muslim ticket. They faked bishops. They did everything. Look at it now. The man is not even thinking about the northerners that
Funny.
supported him. He's willingly
Nope.
ready to throw them out to the dogs. Look at it. Now they're all over social media crying. This one. I'm like, when we were shouting from the top of our lungs, you people thought that it was because somebody was Igbo or somebody was.
Igbo,
Who cares about
IPOB,
that?
IPOB.
IPOB. You say small thing, they will tag you IPO. I mean, people don't call me IPOB.
No, that's what they call us. Anytime you make sense online.
They'll say
Meanwhile,
you
if you be IPOB idiots. Meanwhile, during Buhari's regime, it took them almost by halfway of the second term to start crying that this thing is not the favor us. This one, they haven't even started. It's only 2 months, and they are crying, protesting in Kano now. They are protesting, blocking road, going naked in Kano. That we shouldn't go to war. We shouldn't go to war. They haven't even started, self. This war will, if they enter that Niger, then that's when they will know that the population of Niger people in Nigeria is in the north might be more than the population of Nigeria is in the north. Those people will just wake up and start carrying all these dirty bombs everywhere in Nigeria.
Even before calling for the war, nobody did not. The impossibility of this man to even wait a minute and say, "Do you know how many Nigerians are in Niger?" They did not even consider that. Those people had to be crying out on social media that since they are going to see, they are afraid though. When is the government going to reach out to them? Over 300,000 Nigerians in Niger. That is just an estimate. There may be more. Can you imagine this man calling for war without considering anybody? And I wonder, what are people in Nigeria doing folding their... I'm expecting every morning that some surprise will just happen. Somebody will just say they have taken him away. I don't get it. Are these people are they just going to fold their hands like a mumu and watch this man burn the rest of it? Burn it to ashes before they open their eyes and do what is needful? And what is the judiciary delaying about this thing for? Whether they do the right thing or they do anyhow, kasala go dey. Do you understand? But won't you rather do it and be on the good side and be on the side of the people than do it and be on the side of a few? I don't understand. It beats me. I sit down and they think I myself, what kind of why they bomb me for Nigeria, for crying out? This load is plenty. It's heavy. It's heavy. And then all the women, I'm so angry on so many levels. I'm angry at the women. Because the men have shown time and time again in Nigeria, with all due respect to the decent men out there that are Nigerians. But I'm so mad. Even if the men have decided they have sold their ego will not let them see road, how about the women? I would expect that right now the whole country, all the women, whether they're naked, they want naked, though, anything when they want to, make the whole country shut down because of women. Nothing. And it's so painful. It's annoying. I'm praying, God, just make me Superman for just one day. Just give me that superhuman power to be able to fly to Nigeria and just knock these people out of the place. Is it possible? Don't miracles like that happen? Suddenly I'll just have wings with enormous powers to go and take care of these people one time. It's so annoying and it's breaking my heart every day. Every day people they fight, we are at war already.
People they buy anyhow. Like, do you know that yesterday, in my nephew was buried yesterday. He's a captain in the Nigerian army.
Wow. I'm so sorry to hear that.
They actually, he was
Sorry about
serving
that,
in
my friend.
Thank you. He was serving in Zamfara and they were ambushed.
Can you imagine?
Somebody's first son.
Can you imagine? That's a future. That's someone. That's somebody who has solutions for this, for the problem we have in Nigeria, that they just, for the problem the world has, that has just been taken out. Do you know how many solution providers Nigeria has eliminated? People that have literal solutions for our problems, they are just eliminating them one after the other every day. Nobody dey do anything. They say they get military bases all over the place. They no dey see wetin dey happen. They say dem dey fight terrorism. Who con dey contribute to the terrorism if dem no fit do anything about am? Guy, you say Agbado's war has been slowed down. Togo didn't agree for the use of its airspace. That's good. That's good. Is that recent development? Because I no dey fit sleep again, to be honest with you. This thing don leave bitter taste for my mouth for God knows how long now. I no dey fit sit down one place. I go party today and I had to come. My mind was so divided. I no fit focus. Me wey like music pass any other thing, I no even feel nothing. I was not even feeling it at all. I had to leave. Togo didn't agree for the use of its airspace. King of Ashanti, Ghana, expressed his rejection to President Akufo-Addo. Okay, if that's, make dem slow. Is it in Nigeria? Where are the Nigerian people that should do something about this maniac? I like the way, you know one thing that gives me some glimmer of joy is the fact that it's almost like the whole world knows that Agbado stole the election, and that's what they are addressing by. They are addressing by, they say he's the CEO of all the criminals in the world. That's how they are addressing. The thing dey sweet my belle as I dey hear am. I no go lie to you. E dey sweet my belle. E gives me
When
joy when I hear
when
the
when you tell people
vision.
to when you tell people to lead by example, they think you are joking. You see what our foolishness has cost us in Africa. If they were to run this election clean and clear without fraud and rigging, this would have led more example to other African countries to follow suit. But they thought just paying Yakubu millions of dollars and shoving people on the side will rest in Nigeria. No, this thing has reverberated all over Africa. Lead by example. No, I would rather go the garrulous way and kick people and fire people on election day. They haven't even seen anything yet. Agbado is going to leave whether he likes it or not. Because if they think they can just continue these military guys in Agbada uniform, the military would rather just come back and let us know what we are dealing with.
God. Guy says Agbado is not. Yeah, he's not. Bazoum. I saw the man's face. I'm like, this guy does not look Nigerian. Where they go bring this guy from? This is why Agbado can make decisions like he's making. The guy does not care. And, I was hearing some people saying, some people from the north were saying, if this was the area surrounding the west, like Benin Republic and Togo, will Agbado call for military intervention? He will call for it. He's not Nigerian. He has no connection to Nigeria. That's what people don't understand. You see how removed he is emotionally from everything that goes on in Nigeria? He doesn't feel your pain, whether you are crying, whether you are hungry, whether you are crying. He doesn't. Since the man enter, you don't see him address this katakata when they ground. You are right, Mr. Guy, you are right. Bazoum is Libyan. He no resemble Nigerian at all. Only God know where they take plucker. No, na make they just dey find them, position them as puppet masters. We need to capitulate all of them. All. Pluck them, comot for there one after the other. This is sickening, my people. You know? Exactly. all the atrocities. USA dey there, e get base, UK dey involved. See that UK prime minister who when an ambassador, when they go dance for party, that's all she came to do in Nigeria, and watch Nigeria go down the drain. These people don't care. They're not interested. They're more interested in their interest. And I'm glad the whole world is talking about it now. It's all out in the open. The secret is out there.
Well, it has never really been a secret, though, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they will always tell you, they are going to war for their personal interests. They've never hidden that agenda. The problem is that for some reason, in our part of the world, the global south, they've found a way from South America to Africa to somehow a little bit in the Middle East. They found a way to find people that would do their bidding for them, to find our own people that would do the bidding for them. I don't know how that happened, but it's been happening since the 1900, whatever that was. For some reason, they just, I wouldn't say they figured us out, because all of us are not like this. You understand? So that's the thing that actually baffles me in this whole thing, that for decades and decades, that these people have been able to handpick some. They know how to find Judas. The kind of skill that they have to find Judas that will just destroy their own people and just throw everybody into the garbage bin, just to favor the colonizer. It baffles me. There's something that I'll never understand. I know that, for example, corruption that I know is like when you give somebody 100 naira to do something, and they will do it with 8 then pocket 20. But this one, the way we do things, we only, like Shoyinka said sometime, that we actually create a project to eat the whole money. There's no even plan to build whatever project that was created. I've never seen that kind of, quote unquote corruption. I'm not calling it corruption again, because that one is a totally different type of evil as far as I'm concerned. But these are things that are not our character as Nigerians or as Africans. That's not the way we are raised. All our proverbs has to do with live and let live.
Yeah,
exactly. Taking care of each other. We don't have African language doesn't have anything like prison, for example. We don't cage people. We send you to the we send you to the evil forest, right?
Yeah,
we banish you to the evil forest. We don't have anything like prison, motherless babies home. We don't have anything like motherless. We don't have anything like motherless babies home, old people's home. Your parents lives with you in the house. We take care of each other. We take care of everybody. That is our culture. That is who we are. But for some reason, there's this perverseness that just came in like the past few decades that I just don't know where this evil wind came from.
I can tell you how it all started. See, when you find the greed of the person, see, let me tell you, what's that guy name that was arrested? That Yahoo boy, the Nigerian one. What's his name?
Hush Puppy.
I tell you, if this whole Tinubu thing that has just blown up right now in his face and in the face of his friends and family, Hush Puppy would have been propped up to be, that guy would have come back before become senator. This is how they do it, because when they spend time in their possession, they groom them. Okay, they start to groom them. You say how they find them. They know now. Remember, they've always been in our affairs. that they know all the people when they did the ministers. There was a video I played earlier this morning. Let me see if I can pull it up. They know all the people that are running for it, because remember, it's about their interest. And remember, Nigeria is an interest to these people. These people think that it's really Niger. Yes, they're going to, because of the uranium and all, but there are untapped resources in Nigeria that these people have been they have been putting eyes since, but no opportunity, because Jonathan did not give them opportunity. Now Buhari, how Buhari take win election? Na USA support, na USA supporter, na dem back am up to win that election. I'm telling you. Now the threat when they put on Jonathan, I make Jonathan step down, because Jonathan no gree sign that boy to get to boy this thing.
Have you guys noticed that it was during Obama that Africa actually went down the
down the hill? That guy, I'm serious. I've lost all trust, all the small likeness when I be get when everything don't go down the drain. That guy was the beginning of our problem. We were here shouting, "Hey, finally, a black person, almost not to our detriment." Look at it now. He comot Gaddafi, na im hand. Na your hand na suppose to dey demand the blood of your own brother. You no fit say no, my hand no dey dat one, make dem even impeach you on top of dat one. No, you sef carry, allow yourself to be used. And not only dat, most African Americans no even like the man. Dem no like am. E so, when I dey think the matter, I go dey boil. God, I say, my goodness, just make me Superman one day. Just give me impossible powers, make I just go knock off all these people one time. If wishes were horses, I'm telling you, because what is happening in Nigeria, I'm not going to lie to you guys, is so sad. It breaks my heart every time, and I can't help it. I have to know what's going on ground. I still have relatives back home. I don't want this kind of mess. I don't want anything to happen to them. All of us have loved ones back home. We won't want anything to happen to them. On top of say food no dey, petrol, so you remove subsidy so that you go fit finance the kasala when you wan finance for Niger. Can you imagine the height of the wickedness? On top of that, you come hire your gang of thieves wey be say they just come now to dey clean house, dem dey get 2 million for lunch. Oh God, hey, if our hand comot for this thing,
It's those senators that are their hand is even in this, because there's no reason why, if they claim they don't want the war, then there's no reason why it should be going on recess. You just started. You haven't even done anything. You should sit down and make sure that the war doesn't happen. If Tinubu says, okay, I'm not gonna listen to you guys and veto to whatever you guys did, then you guys also still have the power to vote on whatever he vetoed on and still stop him and make it unconstitutional for him to go. But you just said, okay, we're going on holiday. Holiday for what? It's like somebody, you see that your neighbor's house is burning. You say, okay, I don't want my own to burn, but you just say, okay, let me just go on 2 weeks holiday. It doesn't make sense. You stay back and be pouring water or whatever to make sure that your house, the fire doesn't come to your house. So they are all in it. There's a Senate. They want the war. I don't believe that they don't want this war. They probably got money also. They probably got some money, and for them to save face, they said, okay, recess. Recess from what? Usually you go on recess after doing work. They haven't done any work. The first thing they did, they started this year, right? The other day. The first thing they did, they started with a party for convocation of the ninth Senator Assembly or whatever. So those ones do party finish, that they are leaving. Okay, they left. Then the second thing was lobbying for who would be Senate president. All of them started lobbying. Okay, that one, maybe you'll win that one. Then they now sat down. Then the next thing was to screen ministerial appointees. which they just did a stupid job of anyways. That was it. And we're going on recess. They haven't done anything, you know. So it's really sad that pretty much it's just the elite that are just, making decisions on behalf of the rest of us. And unfortunately, it's the rest of us that are feeling the brunt of the whole decision.
They are forcing them. The West is forcing them to go and invade Niger. If Tinubu have sense, why can't he ask the President of the United States, who is Mr. Joseph R. Biden, who should have been retired and sleeping with his grandchildren by now? Why can't he ask him if he can declare war on its own without the Congress?
Mm-hmm.
That is something that would never happen here, But now they are forcing them, even when the Senate has just said they are not going to basically approve whatever letter or bill is going to send them to the war. Because now, if you are going to, okay, let's just assume you want to pretend to us, for us, we know they are not practicing any kind of democracy. Let's just pretend for a minute that we are actually practicing democracy. And you are doing it after the American system. There is no way you are going to send our military to war without proper funding that is supposed to be coming through the Congress or the House of the National Assembly. But whether you like it or not, the army that is sending it, they are definitely going to be funded, and that money has to be approved by the National Assembly. So if he is overriding whatever the National Assembly just said that they are not going to approve it, then he has to find a different way to fund them. So technically, you are telling us that pretend you are in a democratic society, but even after our National Assembly said we are not going to sign you going into war, you are still telling us, because you are in the West, you are telling us, forget it, go in there, march in there, break whatever you want to break, and get the military junta out. You see what they've been doing for years. Just like, I think, you just said they sided with Buhari back then in 2015.
Yeah.
These guys have been doing it for years. This is something that will never happen here. But they cannot just send military to Iraq or whatever it is without the Congress approving it. But they will want those nasty stuff that can never occur in their country to continue to occur every single year in Africa, because they don't care. Africa is a shithole. Whatever happens there can happen. They pretend that we have a democratic system, which is not the case. They hide behind that idea of, oh, don't worry, you have democracy now. But they are perpetrating evil through that democracy, because they have few of these idiotic guys, these Judas that have been running around among us for years. They've been able to capture their mind to betray us. Yeah, it's very, really, really, really sad. But I just know that, I think the other day I was on this platform, I said, the only thing I was looking at, even if the Senate says no, this guy is still going to go ahead and do it. Even if they don't approve the money, he's probably still going to go ahead and say, Central Bank, I need money, because apparently he believes he's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, but hiding behind the idea of a democracy in a system that is not truly democratic. And he's gotten some money from the West. I don't know, about 270 billion they gave to him. They are going to keep pumping money into that place, because they know that if they can secure Niger, they will keep getting resources and mineral resources every single year from that place. That's the reason why they don't care if we are fighting our brothers or not. They only care about the resources in Niger.
All they care about is their so-called interest. So we say they know even nothing when they get for their land. Everything when they brag about na Africa, they provide every resource to them. These people now not be say they won't fight them or say no now, then they not fight, they just tell them say no now come out, we want to do things ourselves. If you now want to do business with us, we know they against them, but una go come on a level, una go buy am at the going rate. Wetin dey wrong with that one? Africans were not vicious people inside. Our own na make everybody live in peace. These people are not even calling say okay, we will come fight, okay, since una we fight. No, they're saying okay, if you want to buy our minerals, come, let's discuss. You know, if they buy at $11 a day, like with nothing. We get all the resources, we not get like now we they live under poverty, and then you go they say you they send aid. Wetin the aid they do? Una go they borrow us our money from IMF because now we still get am. Wetin una get? Only paper money. Na to print am, una go carry am come so una get paper. No resources backing it up. Now
they have gold reserves, but guess what?
But now from
there's
Africa,
no gold. There's no
exactly.
There's no gold in Europe.
Now the BRICS currency is $55 to 1 brick.
Jeez.
That's what it is now. And I was listening to somebody who said that if that BRIC currency they allow and last for like 6 months, that's it, it's done. America, the whole thing will crash. People don't warn their people now. Say that money when you say you get, by the time it hits rock bottom, you no go worth anything anymore. You go dey buy bread, you go dey buy am for 2,000 naira. Enough is enough. These people are tired. Look at the joy on these people's faces since these people take over. No sadness, nobody dey complain. We no hear anybody. Why be say na Niger already focus on Mali, Burkina Faso dey there? Why they no dey go look those ones?
That alone that alone should tell them that hey, we don't need to go to this country. The people are happy. They said they don't.
Exactly.
Okay, let's just assume you've been telling them for years that democracy is the best. They said they don't want it. Carry it and go swallow it to yourself. Exactly. Don't just leave us alone. We don't want your advice. We don't want anything. Let's just be on our own. Okay, what are you going there to do? To go and install a look at I don't get it. We are going there to go and install a constitutionally elected government. Written what constitution? Did you write the constitution for them?
Ataya.
Don't mind them. Do you know that even our tradition as Africans, back in the day, now the warrior, not the king now, that's military.
Yeah.
all the kings are all warriors. They are military, even pharaohs. Even pharaohs.
Yes.
Yeah, pharaohs. Pharaohs were all most of the pharaohs were also military people. Now then they front fighting for the people. But now they're talking democracy. So we're talking about going back to a certain extent, going back to how we used to live or how we understand each other. Because that's a way of knowing for a people. We don't necessarily have to adopt what you have. Even if we adopt it, we can customize it. We can customize it to suit us. You understand? So there's no one system that is the best. My problem with military is just that one person would be there, and there's no clear transition to have. What am I saying? So I was gonna say there's no clear transition to have another person take over, but I don't know. Even somebody else taking over is even like the best way of doing things. You understand? But there should be a way to serve the people. The way that the people's input will be 100%, or at least a majority of the percentage of the push to have a new system, so that the person that comes in will have the support of the people, right? It's totally different from monarchy and all that stuff where just lineage. No, we don't want that. We want a situation where the people decide on who the next leader will be, which can be military, which can be civilian, or some kind of hybrid. We can always figure that out. It's not a big problem. The guy in Burkina Faso, if you see the videos of this guy, if you see him, he did this kind of visitation, the visitation that P2B does, to somebody in the village and go and talk to them.
Exactly.
Sit on the bench. Sit on the bench. Whatever chair you have, you bring it out. He sits on it. He will carry the baby. Then he'll carry the baby on his lap and will be talking to the parents. Then the way he'll be talking with the parents, if the parent is older than him, he will be giving him, that is the president, will give him the parent props. Like he'll be respecting him, like the way he's responding to him, sir, ma, that kind of thing. But there's no civilian, I've never seen a civilian president in the whole of Africa that has ever done that.
Because they don't know what leadership is. That's the reason, number one reason why the military succeed. Because somebody like this guy who just came out now in the jail, they will come out and lead. All the comedian democratic government in Africa, they are all puppet leading from behind. In the military, people lead from the front. That's what this guy does. That's why whenever they come to power, I'm myself, I'm not fully for a military government, but whenever they come to power, they lead by example, and they go in there as a leader. But I have never seen any quote-unquote democratic system in Nigeria, in Africa, whereby the ruler or the leader there who was purposely elected lead. They never lead. They don't know what leadership is. They just go there and pass beef from one corner to another and pocket money in their pocket. A military guy will come out and tell you this is what he wants to do. This is how he's going to do it, and they will do it in under 2 or 3 months. Our people will just these democratic other guys will just come and keep preaching and preaching and preaching. 8 years will come, another 16 years will come. People will keep suffering and running around in the street. Nothing.
It's crazy, Oh yeah, guy, you're right. It's better to follow the president. I'm telling you, you want our, yeah, that's what he said to them. You want our natural resources? Come and build it here. And by the way, Burkina Faso, they are moving so fast. If you see what they are building, my God. Oh my God. They build energy plants. I bet they call them. Now I go know all those names. Man, I saw the videos. I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. When you gain the popularity of the people, when people say you care for them, they say you be person when they relatable. There's no way they will be willing to lay their lives down for you. I'm telling you, you don't need to even give too many speeches. That's what Peter Obi has been able to do successfully. Look at me here. At what time I'm shouting about Peter Obi that I've never met in my entire life. I may never even meet him. But because this man has been able to win over the people by being relatable, I can relate to Peter Obi. You won't even know the man has her as much as he does because he's so relatable. He feels your suffering. Man, no do bad. They do bad day. Not be today start am. I beg. We need to get sense. So I know these Oyibo people, they need to leave us alone, for crying out loud. Why you go they get base? If people come put, how many African bases there, America? How many? You just have mumu politicians. No, those ones are not leaders. Mumu politicians. Mumu. They dance, follow everything when they glitter. Even if na fake, as far as they glitter, with all the money where they get, they show for their body. They show, they see am. See this 34-year-old boy now. He be like millionaire for my eye. The guy be like millionaire because of the principles when the guy carry. Small boy, he don't ban porn for Burkina Faso. He banned the thing. You protect your people because those things, they pollute the mind. They make people lose focus and identity for their life.
Do you know, Amoye, do you know that I think a few weeks ago I was reading a paper. There was a paper I came across online. The only time Nigeria has ever recorded a surplus budget was in 1995 and 1996. I think the 1995 was about 32.05 billion. 1996 about I believe 1 billion naira or so. Do you know who was in power then? 1995, 1996.
No.
I believe it was Abacha, right?
Abacha, yeah, it's Abacha.
Can't remember. Okay.
Since then till
now, when we use sawdust take cook now. Abacha time.
Yeah, but I was trying to think, like, since then till now, I don't know. Have we ever recorded a surplus?
Surplus.
Now during that time, I know
the guy stole money. Like, the guy pocketed a lot of money. That surplus budget, if he had actually used it, man, Nigeria would have, I don't know, would have been way more in terms of, you know, in industry and infrastructure. Things would have been way more better than what we have right now. But the thing is, I was beginning to ask myself, how did he do it? Even with all the sanctions, the US and there's so many other countries were heaping on him at that time.
The military governments are streamlined, right? They don't have 48 ministers and personal assistants. It's true, it's cheaper. It's only governing council and a few others that make this and state governors. That's it. You know, it's not like this one. People will have social assistant or special assistant upon special assistant.
I'm telling you, even the special assistant will get assistance.
I just looked at it and I was trying to compare, just like what you said now, my brother. I was trying to look at it. Why is it that we always spend so much money? And it just occurred to my mind that Tinubu I think he's trying to bring in 70-something ministers right now. What are they coming to do?
They'll come and wait for him at the airport. When he's coming, they'll put on
all those ministers. All of them will have car, they will have house, they will have allowance, newspaper allowance, toothbrush allowance, toilet allowance. So many nursing stores that they spend money on. You know. Oh my God.
I'm telling you. Sometimes when you listen, when you watch everything that's going on in Nigeria, sometimes you want cry. You go the verse, you go want cry at the same time. That's what they do me. I don't know about anybody else. I go the verse at the same time. I want cry. I feel like helpless. Like, can't I just do something? I don't feel just God. I can't wait for please make we breathe. Make Nigerians breathe. We need to breathe. My God. What we have come through, almost not be now we go start to feel the impact. Then when the dust settle, my goodness, back to back, this man is so removed from any emotions that is human. So removed with every atrocity. See, not be during Buhari time, not be Boko Haram intensify, banditry intensify, with all the bases when they did, with all the American embassy when they did. Why they not report? So by the way, people dey your backyard do nothing. They go fold their hand, watch, make them finish you, because now they even dey from back they sponsor those people, because who go buy the equipment when they get now? They go settle those ones too.
My sister, they are happy. They are happy. They are, because they are benefiting from it. They are even happy that things are not stable. They want the whole place to be messed up so they can keep, siphoning our resources.
It's true, Guy Wanlele. They will definitely. I'm sure that Peter Obi influenced them. To be honest, when Peter Obi becomes president, you'll hear the conversations. I am pretty sure Peter Obi had some level of influence on them actually. Because now they were, to see a leader come out like that and just mix with the people and carry the people along is something that Africa has never witnessed. So there's no way they would not have even been, it would not have influenced in a lot of ways their own decisions and their character. It made a lot of people check themselves again. That's what Peter Obi did. He made a lot of people go back and look inwards and say, am I really the man that I say I am? Am I really the woman that I say I am? Do I have that integrity? If there's somebody that go check my record, you go clean. It made a lot of people stop and question a lot of things. So I am so sure that they will get along. You go even treat them like in sons. You go treat them like equals, because Peter Obi not a person when they carry shoulder. I'm not surprised if they buy a head for them. I'm telling you, that's how humble that man is. Eh? He go make sure say he carry all of them along, because Africa desperately needs people that have the character and the Africanness in them, so that they can move this. Look at what that young man said to Harry. He said his own, hopefully Africa unites. He wants Africa to unite. Young man like that. Meanwhile, you have a lot of 50-year-old, 40-year-old running around, no sense like that.
All those 40 years old now, they collect bribe pass. They just give them money, they will just sell their country.
They'll marry, like, you know how many wives borrow from Gambia? You know how many wives they say he get? The man get, first of all, he get over 50-something girlfriends, 20-something or more wives, and they get 216 children. Please tell me, how many women remain for the country? I don't know how big the population of Gambia is. So anything when you just move in skirts, when you just get head, the man they marry. My God. Only in Africa now you hear that kind of thing dey happen.
Oh, man.
No vision, nothing. You don't have to just dey spread the seed when they will come, when they no go, they will come become problem for the society. Because all those 216 children, guess wetin now? Na taxpayers money na im go dey feed them. All the cars and the sirens when they take dey waka all over, na taxpayer money. Meanwhile, the people are impoverished. Yeah, Misty, that's right. They don't legacy. Wetin be spell legacy? African rulers, do they know do they even know how to spell legacy? Na you fair ask. Those people don't know what they are doing. They just come there. All they care about is I'm the one in charge. They don't know what it takes to be in charge. They don't have no idea. Zero vision, see zero sense. All of them don stikwa, donsa, and they be. Exactly, he does. Exactly. Yeah, Nelly, Abacha stove, you remember. Oh, your head dey there. He looted Nigeria to oblivion. You see they recover im money till today. Switzerland now is painted with gold thanks to Abacha's money.
Yeah, like I said in the comments, Abacha stole, but it's Abacha's money that they used to complete second Niger bridge now.
Oh, now they take build second Niger bridge.
No. Abacha money. There's Abacha money that they used to, but they insisted that it goes into a project, not just. Normally what they do is just they send the money back to Nigeria. Where it goes, they don't know. So, but this one, it was actually assigned to a project.
See. They will try do that one to turn out the project. Let's listen to this.
Switzerland, that is, they say it's corruption free, blah blah blah. But all the corruption money ends up in Switzerland. And you tell me, and they are not on the corruption list.
Make that make sense. All the people that they thief money in Switzerland, they carry.
You thief money, then come hide them from my house. But me, I'm not corrupt. But now you go thief the money. Now you be corrupt.
See, this now the things where everybody's eyes are opening now. People will go Switzerland. They are black people full Switzerland now. They suffer. Some of them know they got opportunities.
And they're trying to kick against them too. I think a lot of Somalis there too. They're trying to kick against them.
Yeah, exactly. They should. And I hear there was a protest in France today by Senegalese people pushing against the war, telling them to get out of France. They went to protest in Paris today. So
let's get started with our very first conversation. It's about the state of the nation and the manner of approach of President Bola Tinubu in steering the affairs of this country. One major issue that was grabbing the headlines yesterday was the decision of ECOWAS leaders mounting pressure on the coup leaders in Niger Republic to get out of the fray and allow a civil engagement to allow a democratically elected process? Or
I'm sorry, I have to. Nelly say, oh my God, Nelly, I feel you, my sister, honestly. Nelly say all the witches, wizards, and vampires should start eating and destroying Agbado and his stooges. This is their time to shine. Oh my God, I can't. Thanks for the laughter because almost tension don dey hold me since, like, God, which kind wahala be this? My beloved country. Hey, we no perfect, but at least I understand our craze. Economic development plan is what those military men want to discuss with him. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure pure economic is what those military men want to discuss with him. Yeah, absolutely. And he'll be happy to point them out. And let me tell you, there'll be a lot of Nigerians migrating to Burkina Faso. I'm telling you, if me there, I go migrate, go Burkina Faso. Forget. Where it take dey happen and I go change my name, Malian name, Burkina Faso. If you ask me where are you from, I say leave it there. I'm African, leave it. Aerofy bonga fish skeleton son. Nelly, oh, he say, yeah, he just married a second. Na so na, that's na so. Once they get money, na to dey marry join. Yoruba na say that boy as he bonga fish reach, if he get like 100 wives, if he get like 100 wives, I'm telling you now our money. Now they take the flex. They'll take and buy all the expensive cars. Since Adam Barrow is in power in Gambia, he has been chasing all the. I'm telling you, hey. Guy Onwalele, in fact, I say which how many women can remain for Gambia when other people go marry? He has been chasing all the women, especially some of the former rulers. Wow, Yaya Jammeh. God, African leaders, God forbid. We are not all like this, so now it make them they feel say all of us. We are not like, and na them, na the Western people they impose them. They impose them to create that image so that the image go match wetin dem dey talk about. That's why they keep doing this. It's all part of their plan. When they buy, Switzerland is always keeping their fortune. Mobutu's case is a good example. Exactly. All their money when they thief na Switzerland. Be like say they tell them, all the Westerners tell them, say once you steal the money, bring it to Switzerland. That's it. Gambia has high population of women compared to men. They no dey marry other men. Na only Gambia na men dey. You cross over. Na men, na women, na men plenty pass for the whole world. If the men no reach for Gambia, you no go cross. There are many men all over Africa. So what I'm talking about. They say the few men, so they'll just remain for there. God abeg. In fact, Nelly, one time, Aisha that name sweets me, man. I go collect that name, man. I go dey cover my hair like them. I go plait my hair. Me when people like my hair natural, I go plait and you know the difference. I can't draw line for middle, makeup style. You know the way they say they make up. When they put one black line for front, like from your forehead to your nose tip. They come put one under the lower lip like that. Come put one across the cheek. Omo, I don't set now. If you see me, hey, Moje. That I'll change my name, change everything. You get time. It's partially functioning. Still construction going on around the bridge. 80% done. There are people doing videos in the progress. Yeah, of course. Na there na they go thief am, carry am go. I'm from Abia, I'm from Burkina Faso. Anywhere where progress dey, na there I come from. No shame in it, man. You ask me now, my name is Asisatu. Hey, I don collect name now. Buy kaftan. In fact, Nelly, I too like Nelly. Nelly don dey arrange me already. Yes, I go charter kaftan, all those flowing kaftans dem wey get shine for middle. Come go invest in some gold. Dey wear wetin dey talk. I come dey talk small, no be talk with the shout. No, I no dey shout. I'll just quiet. I'll come quiet one kind quiet. I say, I'll go dey learn French. Or no, not be French. I'll go learn one of their native language. E don finish now. If you see me, I know anybody before. When I reach Abia State, I be Chika. You people should know that. Chika. I will find surname hard. I never get right now. My name will be Chika for Abia State. When I reach Burkina Faso, I'll be Asisa too. Lobaton. When I reach Mali, I change the name again. What are you talking about? Hey. I read about that. I'm like, what kind of nonsense law is that? When men brekete all over the place, must you marry from Eritrea? There are men all over, raining men all over. What are you doing? Sticking with one, a group of people, when they will consider you, say, I'm helping you just by marrying you. Yeah, I'm happy. What kind of nonsense is that? Anyway, there are people who like to be desperate. So what can I say? They have banned foreign textile for schools. I know, make dem ban all the bannables. Anything foreign, make dem ban am. Make dem even ban Nigerian own join. I will like that. I will like that. I'm telling you, Burkina Faso, here we come, oh, abeg. Hey, our president, I'm coming, oh, abeg. I'm very proud of you, our new president. Na me go dey pray. I go just start another fresh new YouTube for Burkina Faso alone. I go dey stream am. I go dey talk good things about the man. What are you talking about? Abeg you. Sorry, dey. Yes, so Amina, in fact, no need to change your name. You always no facts. They move around West Africa easily. They gbadun myself. Leave West for now.
Leadership in the country. So this has gotten a lot of Nigerians talking about the manner in which some of these leaders, including our own president, who is the leader of ECOWAS, is handling the situation. Let's get talking here. A lot of issues are up for conversation today. I'm being joined by a member of the opposition in the National Assembly, Senator Abdul Ningi. He's a federal lawmaker representing Bauchi State, a member of the People's Democratic Party in the National Assembly. Thank you so much indeed, Senator, for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Sean.
So your recess has started.
That started, yeah. It has
I understand that some of you and your colleagues have gone on oversight functions.
I was in Niger Delta for the last 4 days. I just came back this morning. Yeah.
But what about your recess allowance? Has that reached your mailbox?
Not yet.
As promised.
Not yet. I haven't seen anything yet.
I understand that some of you and some of your colleagues are already receiving 2 million naira.
Yeah, I heard about it, but for me, I didn't get anything.
You've not gotten the alert, or your account officer has not confirmed it for you?
Nothing came to my account yet. So I heard that some people got 2 million naira, and for me, nothing yet. Hopefully, when they tidy up things, maybe.
Maybe you need to see the clerk so that you can, maybe your account number is not correct or something is happening to your account.
Possibly, but I'm not yet to see anything on my account.
Oh, you need to tell your lawyer to pursue it for you.
No, I don't need lawyer for that. I actually don't need lawyer for that.
But the Senate President has promised you so that your recess is going to be a fruitful and an enjoyable one, so that you can enjoy your recess. That's what the Senate President said.
Yeah, I had the Senate President, but I was there. I didn't hear him say that. But later on, in Delta, I was in Bayelsa when I heard that he said something like that. That caught me off guard because it's something that's unprecedented. But he has said what he has said. So there's nothing anybody can do about what he has said. But what I assume, what I know, what I've been used to, some of these things, if they happen actually, you don't just broadcast it the way he broadcasted it. And I can tell you, I've been in the National Assembly. This is my 5th term, so I know how things are done. He has said it, he has said it. Yeah.
For some Nigerians who feel scandalized about that, and how do you react to that kind of statement? What do you think it portends for the National Assembly?
I think it's a huge embarrassment to the Senate President as a person and to the institution of the National Assembly. The Senate President should have gone further to say these allowances are for what, and how did he came across the allowances? Who gave the allowances? Is it part part of the remuneration. Like I can tell you, since I became senator, I had issues with my account. I have not gotten a kobo into my account yet. So, but I move on because at the end of the day, I know when they tidy up my account and other members, things naturally flow like that. So it begs a lot of question as to where this money is coming from.
You don't wonder why some Nigerians are outraged by that statement.
I know people are really very, very bitter about the statement and about the intention, because it relates to people as if this is just a pocket money given by the Senate President to senators.
It is pocket money.
Really, I find that really difficult to also take.
What's the money about for? Or what's the purpose of the money?
Well, he said it in the video. I said that for recess, I mean for holiday. I don't know what 2 million naira will do for holiday. I find very difficult to understand what this money.
Do you senators usually get money for holidays, for recess?
Not at all. You have your own remuneration. You have your own salary. You have your own. I understand
they have allowances.
I understand they have not paid salaries. So if it is salary, why would you even mention it? If it is allowances, why would you even mention it? So it is difficult until probably we come back for one to understand where is this money coming from and what is it for. If it is something that I was we're entitled to and it has not been paid, we're almost 3 to 4 months into the National Assembly. A lot of people have not even collected their allowances yet. I can guarantee that.
Senator, when some Nigerians feel that the lawmakers are a breed of Nigerians that are overfed, overtaken care of, and maybe overprivileged compared to other lawmakers across the globe, and compared to the citizens who have been graded in a country where we are tagged as one of the poverty capital of the world, and this kind of situation where lawmakers have been seen to be the highest paid lawmakers in the world, does it make you and your colleagues look good?
I'm not sure.
During the 2008 financial crisis, the stock market fell 37%, yet
it is a fact that we're the highest lawmakers. What are the parameters? Who are the second highest lawmakers in the world? Who are the third? These are all insinuations. There are a lot of people. Let me just tell you.
Facts that have been
part of the problem we have.
Just for a moment, so that you can be able to lift up a foundation.
Yeah.
And these are conversations that some of us have had over the years about the take-home, the salaries, the emolument, the allowances. It's not in the salary. We understand that some of the lawmakers are earning just about what a professor in a university may be earning. But the devil is in the details. The allowances are where the issues are. And those who believe, and you are being in the National Assembly, I mean, if you want to clear these to Nigerians, how much does a lawmaker even take home?
How much is the allowances? And how much is the lawmaker getting? When I was there,
you get newspaper allowances. Tell us what do you get?
When I was there, I take nothing less than 3 to 4 million naira
every month.
Every month as a lawmaker, putting everything together. I don't know what has changed.
This was about 8 years ago.
The last time, 8 years
ago. So it's a long time.
Yeah, you see the historical.
So things have changed.
Yeah, the historical thing about a lawmaker being, because
my goodness, this man be like person when go primary school. I mean,
he's just lying. The man is lying.
4 million, I lie. Even that 4 million is too freaking much. It's too much. What did they do? How has this man impacted the lives of his people from his constituents? I be not the constituent that they call. I mean a constituency. I don't even know whichever one. Choose one. These people know zero impact. Seriously, even with all the money, they show for their body now, so they go look ashy. They be like, who don't they near to go down underground? Ah, God, I beg. Oh, God, I beg. God have mercy, I beg.
Actually naked before the public. If you compare what a lawmaker gets and what he spends on his constituency, on his constituent, vis-a-vis what a governor gets and what a minister gets, It is unimaginable.
But you're being paid to run your constituency.
Exactly.
Your constituent office.
And that's been the issue.
Even some people have said that they get the money for constituency office, but they don't spend it. They don't even have a physical constituency
and that's
office.
why you see repercussion of that. That is why you see the level of return of the senators is actually over 70, 80%. Because if a lawmaker gets this thing and he doesn't go to his constituencies, because, hey, this is a new world. It's a global thing. Everyone now understands what you go, what you get, what you now must bring home. So if you don't do it, it is only a matter of 3.5 years. And your
experts will say that Nigeria is bleeding on the cost of what it takes to run government, the cost of feeding, running the National Assembly.
How much is the budget of the country? And what is the percentage of that so-called bleeding? What is the percentage? The National Assembly is getting nothing less, almost 3 to 5% of the entire national budget. And here you come, you say the experts are telling Nigerians that the nation bleeds because of the National Assembly. That is a huge, huge lie. They fail to understand what happened in the executive, what happened in the judiciary, the corruption in the executive, the corruption in the judiciary. All they centered about is a lawmaker because he's naked, he's seen. He's seen other people are...
There are 109 of you in the red chamber.
Yeah.
There are 360 of you, I mean, of your colleagues in the lower chamber.
Yeah.
There's just about 500 or thereabout lawmakers. And you are being serviced with that kind of amount of money, and you think that in itself is not too much.
When you
for a country where an average citizen is said not to be able to feed
and
less than $1.
that is the error of judgment a lot of you people are doing, including those so-called experts. How many staff do you think I have in my office?
How many?
I have 6 officially given by the National Assembly.
They're being paid by the nation.
Well, they're being paid by the nation. And then I have another 6 that have to pay from those allowances. It is those monies, plus the so-called paid by the nation, that a lot of Nigerians are making a calculation. Now, right now, you have just calculated 469, and then you divide by whatever goes to the National Assembly. Is that fair?
I mean, it is one thing that is very critical here, Senator. We are before the Nigerian people, over 200 million of them.
Exactly.
The question is, it's not about Senator Ningi, is it? It's about the institution and whether or not Nigeria can carry the burden. Nigeria, do we have what it takes to be able to service a 2 parliaments, national assembly, a 2-tier of the National Assembly? Can we service it? Do we have what it takes? Where an average citizen cannot even feed with $1 a day, and we have senators who are being serviced with such an amount. That is the question.
Unfortunately, because you are not making a balanced argument. Where you have a senator like me, I've been there for how many months now? I don't have a card to use. But what about our minister? I just confirmed yesterday. Tomorrow, he goes in a convoy of 11 vehicles, and nobody says anything. And he carries almost 20, 38. Nobody says anything. This is not somebody that is actually...
It's part of what we're talking about.
No.
Whether or not the cost of governance...
No, if you do it...
You're going to get a new vehicle, wouldn't you?
Did I get? Am I getting?
You would.
How do you now expect me to...
Senator, you would.
How do you expect me to function?
Won't you?
How do you expect me to function now for the last 3 months?
60 billion or so is what we hear that's going to be budgeted to fund the purchase of vehicle for lawmakers.
Have you been to, when last did you go to the National Assembly?
I've been there recently.
How did you see the condition of the National Assembly? Is it something that is worthy? Renovation. Is it something that worthy of even a National Assembly member to be there? Today, I'm in my office. I furnish it myself. I repair the waterworks. I repair the electricity all from my pocket because I should be able to sit down and work. And it is almost impossible now for anybody to go to National Assembly and work.
It's not a shame of a situation where we have a nation that has a revenue problem, yet we have the cost of governance in the state at the national level at that scale. Is it not a shame of a situation?
If you make that argument, I'll be home with it. But if you isolate just the National Assembly,
because you are part of it, so you're not happy about it.
The National Assembly is not my home.
But you are part of it.
It's an unfair proposition.
Presently, it's your office. You spend a lot of time there.
Even if I was away from the National Assembly, I have always said it's an unfair proposition because you have tailored the mind of average Nigerian not to look other sectors, but just to look at the National Assembly and state assemblies. You don't care what happens in the Gamma House. You don't care what happens in the villa.
We do.
No.
And we ask them questions about the manner in which they run their office.
You hardly invite them.
We do. We ask them the
invite them to come here.
No, we do.
Rarely. You rarely do that.
We do very much.
Do that.
We speak with governors. We speak with members of the
National. You just read the issue of the National Assembly causing the nation to bleed. I say, what a percentage of the budget? What percentage of the budget? Less than 5% of the budget.
If you have your way and the manner in which things are going in the country, would you cut down how the National Assembly is being presently structured?
The issue for me, Sean, seriously speaking, is not about the National Assembly. I can say that the government is so big, but the issue is corruption. 70% of this augmented revenues that come for the nation is actually stolen away. Like I said, you saw me in Niger Delta yesterday, and you saw what you have experienced. So it is stupid stealing of the resources, not
on a massive scale.
Not paying remuneration to members of the National Assembly. The corruption is mind-boggling. And once you cannot be able to reduce it to a minimal level, then you continue to have this problem.
Let me take you to asking, did the President Tinubu ask the National Assembly for military intervention, permission for military intervention in Niger?
First of all, he has the right to ask, but the Constitution has stipulated some conditions. First of all, for him to ask the Nigerian armed forces to go into a war, there needs to be a joint sitting. Not only to the Senate, but the National Assembly.
Was there a request from the President?
There was no request. He just sent us a letter enumerating what is happening with ECOWAS. And we saw it, and we read it, and we told him point blank, the war is off the table. Deal with other issues, and we even commended him. And we went right out to say, coup is not something that one should negotiate or we are comfortable with. There's nothing under the table or above the table that should attract coup. Because when you say coup, you mean the government, the aggrandizement of just very few, 3, 4, 5 people that come down to do coup. And we said there are always alternatives where a democracy actually functions. After 4 years election, before 4 years impeachment. So there are a lot of grounds.
Senator, you are a northern leader.
Yeah.
There seems to be some kind of intervention coming from the northern elite and northern leaders about this particular matter.
Yeah.
And it gives some kind of worry to them in the manner in which they have intervened in this matter. Does that give you the kind of worry, and why?
It does. First of all, I'm the chairman of the Northern Senators Forum. First of all, look at the history of our relationship between Nigeria and Niger. It dates back centuries ago. We are almost one people. Only that the colony just drew a map arbitrarily. Secondly, in Africa, there are no better allies than the Niger Republic. Look at all the resolution from the UN, from AU, from Interparliamentary Union, all the resolution that Nigeria followed. That is where Niger goes. And remember, Niger is a francophone African country. And they are the brothers to us. We share the same language, share the same religion, share the same culture. We've almost done everything. Those 7 and 8 local governments across Nigeria, you can't even differentiate it between Nigerian and Niger.
So this is personal to the northern leaders?
No, it's Nigeria. Those local governments are in Nigeria. And let me tell you, the cornerstone of Nigerian foreign policy is Africa. That means our interest is Africa. And therefore, for you to go to war, not only to Niger, against Niger, to any African country, You need to sit down and think.
Do you have a feeling that President Tinubu is making some missteps in this direction?
I don't want to call them mistakes. I thought they are rushing. I thought the ECOWAS are rushing.
Let me give you an instance.
Yeah.
There is some sanctions that have been imposed, and Nigeria is directly involved. Electricity supply to Niger, largely from Nigeria,
70% of it
has been switched off.
Yeah.
A no-fly zone towards Niger has also been declared. There's some other economic sanction, trade and commerce within Nigeria territory and Niger that has also been imposed. These are seen as form of aggression and an act of war. Don't you think that this is also part of what some of the northern leaders see as some kind of missteps?
Quite a number. Like number one, it has historical antecedent. You know our dam. You know the river that flows from Niger through Mali to Nigeria. It was an agreement that was reached between Nigerian government and Niger as far back as 1963. We supply you with electricity even though we are going to pay, but in place of that, you must not dam this water that comes to Shiroro. That was an agreement. I thought the ECOWAS should have known that. I thought President Bola Tinubu should have known that it was an agreement. Now, cut off their light. What if they dam their water? What will you do?
It's going to be a problem.
It's going to be a problem. And then they trade between northern Nigeria and Niger. It is only in Niger, Sharon, I can tell you, that Naira is a legal tender. In the whole world, only in Niger.
Outside of Nigeria?
Outside of Nigeria, that will go and give them Naira. And they'll collect it. And I say, it will affect the entire...
So if you, as a leader of the Northern Senators Forum, what would you be telling President Tinubu tonight?
Carry a white, sir, and take cognizance of our historical ties. The ECOWAS that are pushing you have nothing to lose.
I mean, your colleague, Senator Ojukalu, made a video and said that this is the handwriting and this is the hand of the West in this. And if they want to do anything, that the West should come themselves, that we should not follow in the footsteps of the West. Do you agree with him?
Precisely. What are we saying? Right now, the U.S. has 1,500 soldiers right now inside Niger. Even though Niger said French soldiers should leave, they're there. The Russians are coming, they're there. Why are they using us? Why are they using Nigeria? You remember?
You think Nigeria is looking like a puppet in the hands of these...
You remember, the same Western nations that predicted that there will be no 2011, Nigeria will disappear. Exactly. And they came to predict in 2015
I remember
there will be no Nigeria. And they also predicted in 2019. So it is in their interest that we go to war. When you go to war, what is that intention? What they get in uranium, what they get in Nigeria is uranium. They get it free of charge. And they sell their arms, showing there are several ways of dealing with these coup plotters. And one of them was just mentioned, the economic embargo. And then other things that will not say in the National Tribune. To deal with those coup plotters, there are so many ways. You remember, there was a coup plot against a president, Joaquim Obasanjo, from Cape Verde. He came to Nigeria. He came to Nigeria.
He was in Nigeria for almost a year or so. Before he went back in the
other one, President Obasanjo put him on the plane and went to the same country and installed him back. There are a lot of ways to deal with it.
On a final note, Senator, let me ask you about the screening process. What is the real reason why El-Rufai was not confirmed?
I can tell you for free, the National Assembly, nor the Senate, we don't have any problem with El-Rufai. As far as I'm personally aware and I'm concerned, El-Rufai is a superstar in APC. One of the, you can have your differences with El-Rufai in terms of what he does, but he's a shining star.
Really?
But he said he has withdrawn. Do you think that is a big loss for the Tinubu cabinet?
I thought it was a big loss. If you look at his achievement in the past, look at what he has done in FCT, look at what he has done in Kaduna. You cannot just push that man just away. He's an achiever. He may have some problems with the way he does things. I see him as a superstar, and nothing in my imagination should have pushed him away from getting cleared. That's my personal opinion.
Senator Abdul Nengi, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure having you on the program. Thank you so much. I appreciate your coming today. Thank you so much.
These people are empty, full of They have nothing inside of them. Absolutely nothing. Yeah? This one a minister, for God's sake. How in people take they benefit? Why it take they impact in people? What you don't do to elevate in people? Ha! Now wow, exactly. Oh, gravitas. They say na shining star. Person wey be pine master. Go ahead, Mr. One Love. You want to say something?
Yeah, it's very sad because I don't understand how people like this, how they came into. See, that's what we're just talking about. Imagine a man like this, you know, he has no function. Basically, all they just go there, they sleep and talk, eat and get money. 8 years will come and go, nothing will be achieved, you know. I mean, the only thing I like that he said was just about this Niger thing.
Exactly. That's
They
the
are
only
basically
thing.
just trying to use them to fight the war that they are not supposed to go to.
Exactly.
And I know even Tinubu would have not even planned to try go to that place if they haven't given him some money. They already gave him some money, and because he's at Badu, he loves money more than anything. He's not going to reject it.
And they have something over him too. They have
Oh
taken
yeah,
him.
oh yeah, definitely.
They're holding stuff over him because that's why he's not going to just if to say they're not they hold anything over that guy for no.
Imagine the president going to war by himself. How
Hey,
is that different from the military regime? And the
hey,
West is supporting him. The same West that is telling you, oh, we are for democracy.
hey. They talk from both sides of their mouth.
Of
They
their
go
mouth.
sell,
Yeah.
yeah, they go sell machine to your enemy, the superior one to your enemy, depending on which side they favor. They go sell you another one so that una go fit buy each other. Eh? France
Just
is
put,
on fire. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
they just put them as puppet. That's why when they look at our election, they will try to make sure they interfere. They just sit and they are just laughing. You know, when they look at these people, look at the people that are campaigning, and then by the time a sound mind person comes out, they will do their best to make sure that person does not get in there. Because that's the only person that is going to be opposing them and telling them to back
Exactly.
off.
Yeah. They don't, the interesting thing is that, the West, right? They always look for the worst of us. So you know that there are a lot of greedy and gluttonous people, right, in the politics in Africa, right? If you go from from country to country. So
Yeah.
those ones that are greedy and gluttonous, that's the ones they go after.
Oh
That's the
yeah.
ones who try to prop. There will be lobby, as they call it here in America. So now they lobby, right? They
Lobby.
lobby
Yeah.
them. They lobby them. They give them money. They go anything where they want. They give them. If they want to
Yep.
travel, they go issue some kind visa to them, right? They give them. They feed them. They say if you want buy animal, but they say they talk and you go first feed and fat, then you come buy exactly. That's what they do. So by the time they don't groom and they'll come they get information small from the person. Then the person they'll come maybe throw in the idea, say, you don't want to run for president. Run now, we go support you. You be like say you go fit do the work. Then that one will come get false because you'll say, these people they support me. That means say the likelihood of me winning day. I'm telling you, that's what it is. Not be say they not get, then they see the good people, they don't want because they don't want anybody to challenge them. They don't want anybody who's going to, reduce their interest in any way. So they will go after the buffoon, the one that will sell his people out without thinking out. The same thing when they do for slave trade, that they do right now. Same thing. Same thing.
Absolutely. They've never stopped that thing. They just come in a different format. They never stopped it one single day.
Exactly. Same old trick. Now the same. I played one video. I don't know if you saw it earlier this morning that I played about this guy, British guy. He was exposing how, some. Let me play that video again, actually, so that everybody here that didn't see it before will see it again. It it just goes to tell you that, man, these people never, ever, they're not gree comot hand because they say, we buy here, oh, this place is sweet, oh, we don't want to ever leave. That's what it is, you know. Let me play the video. I want make people hear this thing because only me no fit hear am. Mbali. What is it? My it. Where are you? Let me play that one in the meantime. While that one is playing, then I'll bring this up.
France is on fire. You hear what I said, guys? France is on fire. Today, August 12, 2023, protesters took the street for a anti-Macron protest. The French citizen further went ahead to say that they need Macron out. Currently, as we speak in France, there is no electricity in France. Many homes are dark because of low shedding. Do you know why? Because France is not getting uranium from Niger for the past 4 weeks now. So currently, as we speak, residents of Paris, Lille, Bordeaux have taken the street for a violent protest against Emmanuel Macron. They said they need Emmanuel Macron to resign immediately. Now, guys, watch the video and share.
Protests against French President Emmanuel Macron. Hours after 2 no-confidence motions were filed against his government, protesters gathered at the Place de la Concorde, starting a massive bonfire, clashing with police as they cleared the square. On Thursday, the reaction was swift after President Macron and his prime minister forced the unpopular pension reform bill through Parliament.
Okay, let me bring this up.
So they get the uranium they've been using to power their country for many years. And the place where they are mining uranium from, they don't even have electricity.
Exactly. Poor is the poorest country in the world, my brother. How evil can you be? You're taking these things free from these people. You don't even consider their, say, okay, let me do something for, because Africans generally, we know you understand, we're free-handed, they give freely. Even now, Africans are not asking for a fight. Nobody wants a fight. Everybody say, okay, if you want to do business with us, come and let's discuss the terms of it. Not just come collect my property like that, come on. Come, let's discuss. Now be this one, then they send boots, they threaten to send. For what? Tell me. Now, when things they happen for their generation, when things they happen to them, when they don't understand, they go look for the solution. How? When you don't already cause problem for another person, you are threatening a whole sovereign country because of your own selfishness. It's very annoying, honestly. This thing they pain me. Sometimes I go say, my God, if they pain me, I don't go lie, it breaks my heart. The fact that even Nigeria they put mouth for the matter, they think they annoy me.
Nobody they put mouth for the matter. Now, but don't they put mouth for the matter? No, I guarantee you, Nigeria is supporting this nonsense. People that are roaming around the street every day in Nigeria, no job, nothing. That one can go, so they want to go work. They are just doing it for a selfish gain.
Selfish. Now play this video for now. I have 2 that I will play like that.
General, what is said about the role of the Governor General and the attitude of the British government in particular regarding the fear that Awolowo, Okutebo, and the lot of them from the south are dangerous. Is there a particular reason? Why the fear from the British government? Is it that they don't want to release or relinquish Nigeria? They still want to control Nigeria?
They knew that the North would do as they said after independence. If it had any, the North would just, because it was their habit, they liked the British, whereas the nationalists were an unknown factor. Actually, when they took the flag down and hoisted the Nigerian flag, not one of the major nationalist politicians was there. They weren't even on the platform. This was incredible. These were the people who had sought independence. The people in the north didn't want independence. They didn't want the British to leave. So this was a farce. And for most Europeans who were very close on watching this, we were disgusted. We thought this really had been manipulated, this election. It was unworthy. It was unworthy of the British people, this. This was no honest, straightforward thing that you would expect Britain, the mother of parliaments, to do. This was cheap and low and criminal. And I opposed it. And I opposed it then, and I've opposed it ever since. And I'm telling you the truth. And I was warned, if I told you this state secret, my life could be forfeit.
Earlier on, you said the British government wanted the North in alliance with either of the southern region, either with the Yorubas or with the Igbos. But without which they cannot
they can't do this
rule the country.
The problem was that Awolowo was a highly principled man.
Okay.
You didn't talk to Awolowo about squalid deals and fixing things. Awolowo was not that kind of person. If you read his books, this man was a world statesman. And his young lieutenant, Chief Enaharo, was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. However, they did do a deal with Zik, Dr. Azikiwe, from the East. Dr. Azikiwe, there was this big problem in Nigeria. It's the same big problem in America and in Britain. How do you get funds to fight elections? The candidates in Nigeria had no money, but they did have marketing boards, which were a kind of semi-nationalized industry. And they borrowed money from the marketing boards. But there was a suspicion that Dr. Azikiwe, who had formed his own bank, the African Continental Bank, was actually bankrupt, but he was borrowing very large sums of money from the marketing boards and not necessarily repaying the loans. We knew this. We had a great secret service. All the politicians' phones were tapped. All the politicians' mail was opened. Everything that any major politician did in Nigeria, we knew in hours. We knew all that was going on.
Are you saying, in essence, that Dr. Azikiwe took money?
He was blackmailed by the British to do our bidding. We told Dr. Azikiwe that he could go to prison if an inquiry was carried out into his bank and his financial circumstances. However, we would not want to be vindictive if Dr. Azikiwe was cooperative in helping forward the plans that we had made in the best interests of Nigeria. Dr. Azikiwe has nothing in common with the northern politicians. He loathed the northern politicians. But Dr. Azikiwe went north, did as he was told, and what he was promised was this. The real power, effective power, would be in the hands of the northern emirs. However, it would look great if the president was Dr. Azikiwe and he was given a field marshal's uniform and an admiral's uniform. He asked, please, could he have a row of medals? But they said, well, no, that was a bit difficult, to get the medals. So when the ambassadors started arriving, he was known to be asking people from foreign countries, perhaps they had a medal for his uniform. We thought this was terrible, but it was said that this happened. He was very vain. And for a time, he functioned as first the Governor General, and then when Nigeria became a republic, as the president. But he had no power. And when he did try to tell the army,
be today they start to the Northerners, they gave the Northerners the real power. Come tell and say to be nice. Let me just kukuma be there like Taikupula head. Look, we see and use. You see, this is what they do. It never changed. It's been their way. Listen to this.
But we were never allowed to execute the entire operation. So in 1 month, we took back terrain larger than Belgium from Boko Haram. We were not allowed to finish because it came at a time when governments were in the process of changing. The incoming president, President Buhari, was heavily supported by the government. And the first mission was to curb our contract.
Could you name that foreign government?
Yes, we were told it was the United States, and they had actually funded President Buhari's campaign. The campaign manager for President Buhari came from the US. And I'm not saying that the United States is bad. I understand foreign interests, but I would have thought that a threat such as Boko Haram or the integrity of the state Nigeria ought to be actually a priority. It wasn't.
Why do you think the US would intervene to abort such operations?
Again, I can't answer that. I think that the US can answer, but what I've come to realize that is when a government's foreign interests clash with the state's own domestic interests, conflict is bound to.
Now the year, is it not clear now? It's clear. Everything clear, everything is in the open. That's exactly what it was, my people. Yeah? My own be say, make the judiciary do what they're supposed to do. That's all. Make the man just come. If I were this justice or whatever, I would just rush come out. I will just quickly give the verdict. I will just run, go hide. If I were him, I go run, go hide for Burkina Faso or go hide for Mali. I'm telling you, if you are afraid, or carry your family, go hide them somewhere. Because you see this one, you people are in between a rock and a hard place. It's only the truth that will prevail. The captain on Channels TV told us, they chose boo-boo. Say confirmation. So they are the ones, they keep choosing, they keep selecting. So this is why this time around, no. It has to be Peter Obi. It's clear. The handwriting is on the wall, actually. So it's just this keg of gunpowder that we're sitting on that it's unnerving to me. Like, really unnerving. I don't know. I think it's I don't know how to describe it. Words fail me, to be honest. Let me play this video. This one, I'm glad I remember though. There's one video that I don't know. I say may not be saying only me one hear this video. So this one say open confession. Joe Biden said Boo Boo was spied since 6 years ago. So look here.
Good evening and welcome to the BBC News at 6 from our new studio at Broadcasting House. A flight to Rwanda carrying just a handful of asylum seekers is due to leave the UK tonight after campaigners and charities failed in their bid to block it. The US president just made speech saying that Nigeria former president was a dead man ruling as a president. Listen to what he said.
Nigeria is the only country where a dead man has been rolling as a president for 6 years without them knowing.
Is that true or fake? Oh! Kene says Tinubu needs to make multiple mistakes to convince people he's not fit. Hey, he needs to make multiple mistakes. All I can say is all the Ronu people, where are you people? Ronu Nation. I hope you are enjoying this. So the food that you people cooked is ready. Oh. How are you people? Are you people breathing? Are you breathing? Are you not suffocating? Ew. Una do una sef, una think say na person una do. How na dey fare now? How are you people faring under the weight of this? How are you people faring? When they dey tell una go think say person no mean una well. See am now na. See am. Abi gravitas to na so ló bá tán. Omo, make I play this video for now. This one I found very funny. Make we laugh small.
Puppet, layers of Western puppet. When I say Western puppet, I mean presidents who sell their natural resources to the United States and the West. President who get controlled by the United States and the West. President who take direct instruction from the United States and the West. The list of Western puppets are 1. Macky Sall of Senegal. 2. Julius Maada Bio of Sierra Leone. 3. Emerson Imagwagwa of Zimbabwe. Fellow Ghanaians, Mr. Ukpo of Ghana. 5. Mohamed Bazoum of Niger Republic, the former president of Niger. 6. Adama Barrow of the Gambia. 7. Hakeem Hichilema of Zambia. 7. George Mane.
Actually, let me. I think I need to play the full video of that. Let me see. Let's see. I thought that it was really funny though. I didn't. Let me pull up that video, particular video. Okay. Hold up, guys. Let me bring it up here.
Western puppet, Western puppet, Western puppet, lace of Western puppet. When I say Western puppet, I mean presidents who sell their natural resources to the United States and the West. President who get controlled by the United States and the West. President who take direct instruction from the United States and the West. The list of Western puppets are 1. Macky Sall of Senegal. 2. Julius Maada Bio of Sierra Leone. 3. Emerson Imagwagwa of Zimbabwe. Fellow Ghanaians, Mr. Ukpo of Ghana. 5. Mohamed Bazoum of Niger Republic, the former president of Niger. 6. Adama Barrow of the Gambia. 7. Hakeem Hichilema of Zambia. 7. George Mane of Liberia. 8. The CEO of Badu, the godfather of money laundering, Mr. Grape Snatchy, the interim president of Nigeria until the stolen mandate can be returned. 9. Paul Biya of Cameroon. 10. Alassane Ouattara of La Côte d'Ivoire. This one, he don't amend constitution finish. 11. Vladimir Zelensky of Ukraine. So guys, these are the Western puppets. So now let's go to their title. The most stupid and dumbest Western puppet is Vladimir Zelensky is the most dumbest Western puppet ever. This one, he don't turn his country to graveyard. Putin don't wipe the whole city. Okay, so guys, the Pablo Escobar Western puppet is the dealer himself, Bulaba. This one, they transport drugs up and down. He's the biggest dealer in Africa. Bulaba. Okay, so guys, the most educated Western puppet is Dankwa Akufo-Addo. The Ghanaian president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is the most educated president among them. Okay, so guys, the most woman Nazo, meaning he had over 50 side chicks. Western puppet is Adama Barrow. Adama Barrow have approximately 35 side chicks, 63 wives. He had 216 kids. Can you imagine? Okay, so guys, the most criminal man that Western puppet, which means who can still pass. All of these, they are all criminals. Okay, so guys, this is my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Just type my name. Western puppet, Western.
Man, that was funny to me. The guy arranged them. See, you see that Adama Barrow, a bit Adama Barrow, a bit they call him. Only one person has 35 wives, right? 60 something, 35 girlfriends, 60 something wives, and 216 children. Please, help me make sense of that. Wetin people they look for? What you go say you dey look for this world? So anybody that just when you wear skirts, no even matter, even if na gown, maybe na buka, take over, you go marry am. You know they see woman comot eye. No wonder. How can such a person have a vision for the? He can't have vision. He's too busy. It's easy to take off 35 girlfriend and then 60 something wife join her. Add that together, they're almost 100. It's crazy to me. Oh my God. Hey, God, I beg, deliver us. So this one is not just something has to be done. Something needs to change. I'm just hoping tomorrow brings better news. 35 wives. Yeah, Sheldon. 35 wives. Is that not madness? Be fruitful. And the man took it literally. No wonder he doesn't have no vision for his people, nothing. The guy is raising a village up by himself. The taxpayers will pay for everything they need: security, house, food, clothes. I guarantee you, those 216 people, they'll be traveling overseas. They'll be traveling all over. What is left for the society? What is left for the rest of the people? My God. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Very soon, all of them go be related for that Gambia. If they not take time, all of them, they will all be related. Oh, my goodness. Mr. One Love, I beg. Your final thoughts. Make I call am a night. Let me say go rest. I don't wahala. Nigeria matter. May God just give us victory. Now that will be my prayer. Mr. One Love, your final thoughts. You're on mute. We know they hear you. Are you still there with us? Mr. One Love, don't go sleep, because Mr. One Love, the time difference is huge. It's probably late where he is. Okay, well, I will begin to call and they draw the curtain on this one. Tomorrow, let's hope for the best. Again, keep your eyes. We're keeping our eyes focused on the judiciary. We are not moving it. And we have to keep using our hashtag, no war in Niger. We are not fighting our brothers and sisters. Agbado, Tinubu should step down and leave. He should be disqualified. He should go and sit down. Okay? If he wants to fight, he carry himself, his son, Sheyi, and his wife, whatever her name is, all his family members, including Asari and MC Oluomo, they should go and fight it. If fight dey hungry them, okay? So I beg. Hey, are you serious, guy? He was in the security in the UK. No kidding. Are you serious? See am, na dem dey raise them now. They go raise them up. Assets, na be this. The dons, the dullest ones, na dem dey always fish out. The dullest, the ones wey dem know say dem go fit just take, dem go fit, wrap around their finger, wey no go care for anything, care for their people. Na dem, those ones na dem dey look for. He say he create how many jobs? 10K jobs in a society with over almost 200 million living under poverty now. Now he take create 10K jobs. Who that one help? Well, my brother, he was kind of a bouncer. Hey, carpet beggars, they go look for them. The ones wey be say their money shine, things dey shine, then they will hold something over them. If I tell you, they will get a lot of things over that Adama Barrow, whatever it is, they will have something over him. That guy. Sebi and Tinubu, they join Tinubu, they say, yeah, let's go there. Hey, oh, God no go give them do. Really? He's into that one too? Maybe na Agbado teach am o. Maybe he was one of the runners for Agbado. He was probably one of the runners for Bola Tinubu. No surprise there. Can you imagine? Hey God. Abeg o, my people, it's been real o. Let's call it a night today o. Tomorrow is another day. Let's hope for something positive tomorrow, because God knows I desperately need to hear something positive. And in your various quarters, Biko, lift Nigeria up in prayers. We don't need this. We can't be fighting our brothers and sisters because of some Western people that only care about the interest. So they desperately need the minerals in Nigeria, but in Africa, but they will be lying about Africans. They will come here and be showing on their TV flies dancing around African children. Meanwhile, na Africa rich pass. Without Africa, all of them, they will be non-existent. They'll be extinct. See am now. See am, it's almost gonna crash. Who they want to depose for now, right? Exactly. Turn back the electricity. Thank you very much. I think one country is supplying them electricity. I think I read that somewhere. Yeah, you can't turn your back on your brothers. I'm telling you, that's what all of us, that's what we're shouting. We can't. Niger, we live within. We're like brothers and sisters. They're in our military. They go to market with us. They're in our marketplaces. They sell. They are literally Nigerians. There's no difference between Nigeria and Niger. It's just a trick to come in, because they've never been, because they've been, how long they've been saying, oh, there's probably going to be war in Nigeria. They've been saying it for a long time. We're hoping and wishing for it. That's why they're the ones financing the terrorists and the bandits in that region, to destabilize so that they go fit enter. They go collect the uranium for Niger. They'll come enter Nigeria because they know Nigeria is loaded with resources. They know. Without their massive American embassy, when they build, when it be spy center, please, that one forget. I don't know why I was so mad. I'm like, why would they give them such land? Come to America. How is a Nigerian embassy like? You can't even do. Banks were Nigerian banks were trying to come to America. They not agree give them license to do business for America. Meanwhile, they have free access. They don't have anything but paper money. Now we get all the resources, all the gold, all the platinum, all the diamonds. Everything is in Africa. They'll come, they lie to people for here. When they'll see you, they'll be asking, so, it's our aid that is sustaining you. Which aid? Aid that the politicians pocket, and we don't even need the aid. Person like me now, when I grew up for farm, everything I ate, I grew on my own, in my father's home. Lies, all the lies now, it's now been exposed. Everybody now knows the truth. That Africa is the real Garden of Eden. And there, that be the real Garden of Eden. I beg. Adama is a puppet of Macky Sall, who is a puppet of Katara. Katara manages wow. Really? Guy Wanlele? Wow. See connection, no. You know, see, they even get caught among them. Even Agbado is kind of friends with that guy in what's it called? That one that they beat out of his office. What's his name again? Oh, of Guinea. I forget his name. They're all connected. If you think you are sure, so these people they're all connected. It's like a network. Can you imagine? Yeah, thank you, Kene. Algeria is supplying them electricity. Burkina Faso send them food, trucks, fully. Oh, I love this. This is what Nigeria ought to be doing. Instead, Agbado, as if Nigerians are not already, they don't already have enough problems of their own. This man just wants to make us enemies to our brothers and our sisters. Meanwhile, it is only him. Oh, no, Nigerians are against. I've never seen any Nigerian that say yes, apart from the foolish ones that are supporting him. The stupid our local people. Those are the only ones I see. Even some of them now are even crying. They are praying secretly that the judgment should come out and give Peter Obi his mandate. The money, exactly, is money laundering. And then when they want to give them IMF loans, they will give it to them at a very high interest. They'll be telling you it's just 5%. Useless people. We don't need to borrow a dime from anyone. Everything we need, we have it. They need the silver from Africa, lithium for the crazy green project. France will be dark without union from Africa and the money they make from printing natural. Good. Let them suffer. Honestly, I really want that one because France is the most racist. All of them are the same, if you ask me. But France, oh my God, the way they treated Francophone countries, no. Francophone countries print their money with them. They can't print their own money. Anything they need to do in that country has to go through France. Even phone call. No, God forbid. No. They are complete fools. And they are not leaders. They are politicians. They are fools. You are right, Gravitas. Completely. Alpha Conde, yes, guy. Alpha Conde and Agbado, they'll be 5 and 6. They'll be 5, they are BFFs. Hey, I'm telling you, let them cry a river, let the winter hit them. Me want, make them feel them for all the suffering. You know, people don't buy, people don't buy in the process of out of hunger for Niger. Everything you want to go, even the president you gave them is not from their country. How wicked can you be? You will go, you will sabotage their elections just to install your puppet. No, it stops. It stops. If the whole world want Kukuma end because of that, make it end. Honestly, it stops. It's too much. And they go, they say Africans, we want day here. We don't like it here. That's the truth. We have the best weather in the world. We don't have any natural disasters. Not one country in Africa has it. We have fertile soil. Everything we need is in the soil. God just create us, put us, give us, line up everything where we need. Exactly. It will first go, if you mail now, you go first go France. God, I beg you. Even their central bank, now France is. And then when they want to give them money, they will give them money at an interest. Hey. We evil. If this is not, and they'll be saying, oh, the devil. Wait till past this one. Shebi the Bible when Christians they read that they say the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Please, who is killing, stealing, and destroying you right now? Is it the proverbial devil? Oh my God. Hey. I'm telling you, go print and they don't even need them. Make they change that their currency. Make they even change them. That's the next thing you need to do. Make they change them. Make they start to they use them. Make they find one correct name, give their currency. when they'll take the trade amongst themselves. To hell. Let them go. Let all of them freeze for winter. Even though, yes, I live here, oh, it's okay. I will manage the wait person go do. Patapata, I pack my load, I go to Burkina Faso. That's it. Oh. I'll be streaming live from Burkina Faso or Mali. I'll they greet you now. I go they say, how na dey now? How that side? Okay, oh, I did my farm under the mango tree. Una kuku know. Me and my mango tree. We just dey under my mango tree, the jollof. I'll dey tell una say una take am easy. Oh. Na so. Meanwhile, I just saw something now. Your Adeboye came out to say something. Make I even read that for now before I close. All these people. I will see this Burkina Faso man. See am. Burkina Faso Minister of Defense will visit Russia next week. Oh, as e dey hot. As e dey hot. Let me see. Oh, my president, Peter Obi, no worry, we dey here for you. We stand gidigba, we dey behind you, we solid behind you. Let me see if I can find it. Where is that? Something about there's poverty, there's this on the land, you know, we cannot go to work. You know, as they talk, that lazy way when they talk. Casually talking. When you need these people, the so-called GOs, they are not there. They come and they talk. Now, what do you want to talk? All the pastors and GOs should go and hide themselves under a rock somewhere. I'm telling you, they should go and hide. They should strip themselves of being pastor and GO. They're not. They are undeserving of it. Kai. To fear quoi. Person wey go see him brother dey suffer, e no fit come to the aid of him brother. What kind of abeg go. Exactly, guy, exactly. Go teach them how to have sovereign and how to structure their banking. Yes, e go even they go borrow them some of our hot heads for Nigeria, make they help them. Yeah, that's one thing I know Nigeria is good for. In Africa as a whole, we're very hospitable. We love to help each other. These people come create stupid borders. Meanwhile, when they enter the African country, nothing, they only check them. But when you as an African, you want to go to the next African country, they will be asking you for all stupid things because of this Westerners. No, enough is enough. You know they big again. Mango tree, no, they big. Who tell you so, Kene? How did you know? How do you know? Do you have a mango tree in your house? Do you have a mango tree where you are? How you want to know? Mango tree, they all I build orange tree or lemon. I go get our lime. Now lime we really get for Africa. Lime, orange, mango tree. What's this other tree again? Oh, what will they get for house that time? People will call they pluck different fruits they eat. I used to climb my neighbor's mango tree there. Now there I go climb them, I go they pluck them. Hey God, those were the days, man. Vote for leaders with plans to develop infrastructure, bring the resources to the market. The continent has everything you need to. We've already done that, to Sheldon. I don't know if you've been following Nigerian politics. We've already done that. We voted for the right person, but this Western leaders have a way of sabotaging it every time. I'm sure you know that. Every single time. That's what we're fighting for them to return this man's mandate, because it's a clear win. And I'm so glad everybody knows that this man stole the mandate from the person who actually won the election. And that I'm glad that they're calling it a coup as well, because it's not because it's not military doesn't mean it's not a coup. He maimed people, he killed people, he did all manner of things just because of that. He did not win. 99% of the population did not vote for him. So we already know, Sheldon, we already know. That's what we've been doing. Nigerians voted for the right one. We did. But because they know that it's going to be tough negotiating with him, They want you, and they already had it in mind that they're going to probably go to. That's why they're going to go to war with Niger. So they need an enabler. Yeah. Our welcome, na businessman, Abi. Yes, so I'm telling you, I be farmer. Honestly, I be farmer. No, that one, no denying. Matter of fact, I went to what do they call am? I went to where the name of this place where they buy plants and furniture and wood and stuff like that. I went to buy like a big box, like made of wood. And I'll take plant different vegetables because I get bitter leaf, I get mint leaf, and I get efo, and they are doing so well. So I need a bigger box so I go plant more. I want plant tomatoes, you know. They grow my thing, I beg. I no fit shout. Put pepper join sef. Eh? Adeboye said if he's working with the devil, let he go na so e go be. From his mouth to his creator's ears. From his mouth to his creator's ears. Yeah, really, yeah, prayer. What is that? I beg you. As Igbayi, I'm telling you. Hey, God. Empty prayers, my brother, that has kept us down since. Pray for Nigeria. Pray since I was born. I've been praying for Nigeria since I was born. To tell you, I beg, Agbalumo tree. Gravitas don't carry me go where I know. Agbalumo tree, especially when it is sweet. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. I feel like, oh my God, Gravitas, you don't tell me I chop agbalumo. Oh my God, that agbalumo, you suffer. I go use and do chewing gum. I fit chew that thing the whole day till the next. Oh my God. Ay, ay, ay. Hey. Me, I never said I was Kene. Kene, you're a troublemaker. I never said I was stealing mangoes from my neighbor. We don't do that. If your neighbor has fruit, then it was, in fact, the owners will tell you, they'll tell you, "Oh, go and pluck mango. The mango is getting ripe. Go and pluck." It was free. Nobody stopped you. It wasn't stealing. We're kids. Stop. Abeg, na it's only in the west that you cannot cross over to your neighbor's house to go and plant, to go and pluck. Even if the fruit is growing on your side of the compound, if you pluck and they fit sue you. It's only in the west. For Africa, we don't live like that. If you pluck anybody fruit chop, you go belle full. Nobody go stop you. Welcome, Maris. Greetings. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you follow African politics. Your aunt married a Nigerian man, so I do. Okay, good. So, time to time, but right now, Sheldon, it's hot because the man we voted for was Peter Obi, and that's who we're standing by, and the whole world has recognized it because we made a lot of noise, and we still are, because the matter is in court and we're waiting judgment. Okay, anytime now, the judgment will be announced. That man won with a landslide, and he has the interest of us in his heart. You know, he carries us wherever he goes. So yeah, so just to keep you updated there, you might want to, really pay attention to it. That's what's happening. You know what loan care, like we'll be self-reliant. I'm telling you, we'll be doing a susu in Nigeria. We go dey do esusu go come dey on another level. Oh my God. IMF, God forbid, World Bank, is it not our money they are giving back to us? They will not tell you pay interest. No, enough is enough, especially during peak rainy season. Yes. Grapes, I never see grapes on Nigeria. And do you know pomegranate? I don't know, do we have it in Nigeria? I never saw it in Nigeria. Now, America, I didn't know about pomegranate. I don't know, even grapes. The fruits I knew back then that was really African to us was agbalumo, mangoes, that one, steady, fresh, solid, pineapple, avocado. Guess what? We had an avocado tree in my house. The avocado go ripe, it go dey spoil. Nobody dey chop am. And soursop. Oh my God. Growing up, we used to eat soursop. That soursop dey quick tire me then. When it's very chewy. as they eat them, sort of like, you know, you dig your hands in and man, oh man. Yeah. Can a guy say may you bring the proof come court like INEC? Can they say breadfruit belongs to no ukwa? Exactly. When it falls, many people, in fact, we dey go my own, we dey go our neighbor houses that time. We dey go pluck their fruit. They go come our house and go pluck. It was free for all. Nobody was hungry. You know they hungry. You go your neighbor, this thing, pluck wetin you wan pluck, comot. Nobody go disturb you. It's not like in the West here, you can't touch somebody else's. If you touch, they might sue you. Depending on the kind of neighbors. I know there's some people who have very good neighbors that, you know, they share their fruit with each other, but no, there are not many. You know, it's hard, it's rare. Yeah, I saw that guy. I was excited. I actually set a notification to remind me. I'm gonna, yeah, when I come on live, I'm definitely gonna play. Hopefully, it's not too long. I'm gonna play some of the video, you know, so we can hear what David. You know, David is always on point when he comes on. It was really nice to see that. Yeah, absolutely. Agbadu, of course. Now it will be the a la carte for the menu. It will be served a la carte. I didn't know grapes grew in Nigeria. I never saw grapes growing up. At least in my side, my neck of the woods where I grew up, we didn't have. I didn't see grapes, but I know there was this type of African apple. Do you understand that we had? It was called apple, but it's African. It's smaller. It has its own distinct taste. That's very nice, very tasty, very sweet too. You know, it was very crunchy. I guess that's why they. But yeah, it was apple too. Those were the fruits, and sugar cane. Those were the fruits I was used to. I didn't know about even this Western apples. You know, it was only recently I started seeing. I didn't grow up with apples in Nigeria. At least I didn't know of them. Uh-huh. You really? Ukwa they cause commotion for party. Oh my god. Bats dey chop soursop before person. What you mean? I don't understand. What you mean? I dey eat soursop that time, but e dey quick tire me. Oh, Mott is a program, Nelly. You should check it. Actually, the guys, I'll bring it on here. He used to be MP. He was member of parliament in the UK. His name is George Galloway. It's right there where he has a YouTube station as well. He brings people on. He was the one who interviewed some guy not too long ago, and he was telling the guy that he did not know that Bola Tinubu was a drug dealer. You know, that he went and to his surprise was like, wow, this guy was a bad man. I forget how he said it. It was really funny the way he said it. Yeah, so Tinubu is known worldwide as a criminal and a drug baron. Yeah. So they call him, I don't know what the moat stand for. So I really don't know, but it's George Calloway. If you type in George Calloway on YouTube, you see it. And then, yeah, that's what it is. Pretty good program. The guy I get Irish, I think an Irish guy has an Irish accent, you know. And good interview, by the way. I played one of it thanks to Guy. I played one of his videos a couple of days back where he had somebody and they talk about Agbado. Oh, it sweets me, man. The way they take characterize them. Oh my God, it totally me. I was happy. Yeah. Ukwana big man food. Okay. Soursop. Oh my God. It was sometimes it was too much for me. I'll throw it away. After eating as much, I'll throw it away. Those foods were easy to find. Easy, they pick up for ground. A lot of things grow in Nigeria today. David Unkwa YouTube channel. Okay, I'll check it out. It's Scottish, yeah, that's right. Yeah, William Sarkwa. You invited him and they did an interview. Man, the characterization of Agbado on that interview was the bomb. Oh, chef's kiss. I loved it. It was good. The way they were roasting him, I think they suit me well. I said, correct. This guy, you need that roasting, you know. But guys, thank you very much for being with me today. It's been real. Thanks for at least helping me, helping my heart, helping lighten my heart, because I was really like, I was upset at the same time. I was angry, and then some I'll be like, I wish I had like superpowers, so I can go and take these people out and just remove them, pata pata, so that we can move on with our lives. Yeah, I learned that when I got here. That was one of the fruits we had back there, in Nigeria, man. Do you know I was trying to buy sour soap? I was looking for sour soap to buy it. You know how much one is? I was trying to order. One of them was like the one I found though. It was only one, no, just one fruit. I think it was like $50 or more, something like that. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Sour soap, one. Me, they think say I wan buy basket. I don't know say they think. Abeg, if una know where I fit buy, abeg una tell me o. I be dey look for am. So wetin I come end up buying, I just buy moringa seeds. Na that one I dey chop. That one dey taste like bitter kola. E get bitter kola after effect. When you dey chop am, e dey bitter, but e dey get sweet aftertaste. Na the moringa, that one sef don almost finish. So abeg, if una know where I fit take buy other sour soap, abeg make una tell me. I need that fruit because I grew up on it. I grew up eating sour soap. Oh wow, you get all those things, huh? I know about the anti-cancer, at least much later. I didn't know about it. Has antioxidants, anticonvulsants, anti-arthritic, anti-parasitic, anti-malarial, liver protective, and wow. I was looking for it because I was craving it. Really? Can a sour soap full well na dey? Yeah, moringa. No, moringa has a sweet aftertaste. I think it's a sweet, e dey bitter. After you chop am, e go come dey bitter. Then when you after you come dey sweet. That's how e dey remind me of bitter kola. Na so bitter kola dey be. Kene sour soap full there, true. Be like say you go mail some to me, abeg, for real. I really need am. Anti-agbado. Oh my god. My people, una do well o. Thank you so much for being with me. Una help me lighten my heart today because omo, it was going on a riot. I come say abeg, which kind wahala be dis? Nigeria? Nigeria is like my heart. I no know say I love the country like that o. Really, ukwa was known as a poor man's food. Look at it now. They say na big men dey rush am now. Na dem dey rush ukwa now. You see am? Na dem dey rush am now. Yeah, moringa, I like am. I really like am because e remind me of bitter kola. I say, wow, this is really good. So I dey eat am. And the seeds don almost finish because na the seeds I buy. I will just pop am like popcorn. Pop am open, put am for mouth. Man, I like it. So I need to I need to get more. Abeg, Kene, hook me up with sour soap, abeg. Seriously, I'm serious. I've been looking for it. I no see. I go check Amazon. I wan buy. I wan order for where they say one $50. I say wetin dey happen? When we get 3 of sour soap for us that time, the thing dey spoil sef. God. See, I just when I think of Nigeria, I go just dey vex sometimes. Things don change now. Na dem dey rush ukwa now, big men. No see am. Na so life be o. And so before, people no dey eat chicken feet o. Na we dey all of us, when we dey eat chicken feet that time, dey look am like say na poor man food. See now, for years some people dey rush that chicken feet like say no tomorrow. Which one be artemisia? I'm not sure say I know that one o. Artemisia to, is it agbo? Those leaves that they used to cover, they will cover you under it, you will now sweat, and then the malaria will disappear. Is that artemisia? For me not to know many English names for those leaves though. So my people, it's been real oh. I appreciate you now. Thank you very much for keeping it lively as well. At least we got some laughs as well. By the grace of God, we go hear good news tomorrow. One will take happy, one will take dance. The major news will come. All of us go happy. We go celebrate. We'll pop champagne. So Anyway, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for liking. You guys have been doing so well on the likes. I know if you thank you enough. I really, really appreciate them. So thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. All when they share, they like. I really appreciate them. Thank you so much. Yeah, Dogora Yaro leave. I be at Mesia. Okay, I don't learn better thing to do. No, Sia. Oh, I don't up my grammar. Hey, when I use the word Artemisia, I'm on and not faint too. It's not easy to learn new words. Oh. Hey, by the time they talk Artemisia, now need to respect me now. Can they don't give me word now? Eh? Commando, chicken feet with head. Oh my God, Kenny. It's in a chicken. Oh boy. Yes, so guy, $50. I'm telling you. I was like, hell no. Because I just kept thinking in my head, that time for my house, three. The thing they even they square. People don't they see to chop am. Eh? $50 kwa. Ah, vessel. I not buy again, no. Kenny, I beg, I need hook up for soursop. Seriously, oh, I beg, I beg. I need sour. If you get the hook up, I need them. I beg. When I come live again, abeg share. You get my email now, abeg send me info. Ma order. I need soursop. I dey miss am. I dey crave for am, because I grew up eating it, so I dey crave for am. So if you send me the link, at least on how we take buy, I go or anybody wey get the hookup for soursop, please share with a sister. I'll appreciate it. Kene, you say make I go buy chewing stick for Amazon. You make you don try buy I never try buy chewing stick oh. Why I go buy chewing stick for Amazon? We get African stuff for here. I rather ask them if they have and buy. I don't want to sure say the chewing stick go be correct chewing stick. Abeg I no fit buy bad thing o. Na bad market be that one now. Thank you very much, Gravitas. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here with me. I really appreciate you as well. Thank you. Thank you, Sheldon. Thanks for coming. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate you. Yeah, take care of yourself too. We're all in this together. So please pray for us. So I beg. We need them. We need it. Pray for us too. Thank you so much, CKP, for the super chat. No Siam. Oh, God go bless you, CKP. God go bless you, whether you like them or not. Thank you. I appreciate. I appreciate. Thank you so much. You will continue to ever, go ever lack. Oh, my brother, thank you for blessing me. Or my sister. Because if you be woman, CKP, if you be man or woman. Even pawpaw, exactly. Pawpaw. I dey buy pawpaw for here. Mexicans get pawpaw. So I dey go store, go dey chatter the pawpaw for Mexican stuff. You dey sell your sweet hot potato. You dey sell sweet hot potato. Which potato? Na Nigerian sweet potato. Cause na Naija sweet potato na im better pass o. I dey buy that one from Asian store. The one wey dey closest to our potato. Na Asian store I take dey buy am. Naija sweet potato, man, that thing is the real McCoy. Yeah, no, that one na sweet yams. Na sweet yams be that, Kene. I no dey fit handle am. E too soft. I no dey fit. E dey melt. That Naija own, if you go Asian store, they get am. The body purple. The sweet yam own, the body red. But the sweet potato, when dey close to Nigeria own, e dey purple for body. That's the difference. That's how I know which one to buy. Yeah. Abeg o, guy Wanlele, thank you very much o. CKP don super chat me na. Na only him don super chat me, so I have to thank you specially. Na only him remember me say, okay, may I buy this girl mango and soursop and everything. Nobody else. Wetin person go talk? Man must stop. We must push this. We must continue to make sure so we reclaim our country back. So wetin person go do na to dey move forward. Naija sweet potato dey like yam. Yes, very nice. You've seen me, I usually buy it from the Asian store and it's purple. That's how you know. I don't even roast am. I don't put am for oven, broil am. Na you teach me that broil o, Kene. Thank you for teaching me about boil. I con dey use that boil well well now dey run things. So I buy the sweet potato, cut am boil. Man, just remind me straight about na like sweet na our sweet potato, na the same thing, taste the same, everything. So it was really nice. I enjoyed it thoroughly too. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, Guy Wanlele. I appreciate. It's a joke. Oh, we Kene. Okay, my first customer. He gave me the business idea. No, Kene na so na. Business idea is good though. Abeg make una dey roll am in o. Abeg make all of us make we dey make the money together. As una no dey give me super chat na, no gain. So I need to step am up. Maybe I need to dey do business. Either I go move go Burkina Faso now, go dey sell food because dem need food o. Make I dey sell food to dem. You understand? Broil is the truth. Yep. Kene, after I discovered it, I was like, no more. Baking, waste of time. Broil is the way forward. But thank you so much, guys. I really thoroughly enjoyed this live. Thank you for making me laugh. My heart is lighter now. Thank you, thank you. I'm not too worried anymore because I have all of you as a community. You know, our village, they grow day by day, day by day. So thank you so much. I appreciate you all. I'll see you guys tomorrow, most likely. We'll see how it plays out for tomorrow. But you guys have a wonderful Saturday. Have a wonderful Sunday. And I'll see you on my next live. Bye. I should get an air fryer. I don't know. I just feel it's a waste of money, gravitas, to get an air fryer. I think it's, I don't know. I mean, I have an oven. Why would they buy more equipment? That's how I feel, though. That's just a personal opinion. So, hey. Anyway, gravitas, thank you, my darling. See you guys on my next one. Bye.